Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Heat Ray Vision podcast. Tonight I got myself, Hector, also known as CN6, and with me, I got Jazzy.
What up?
And Hav.
Yo.
And Jazzy's back. We missed him on the last review.
Yeah.
You left us alone, man, for fucking Craven the Hunter, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. I mean, thankfully
where were you,
it
man?
was I was celebrating my birthday early. With my mom,
that's what it
because we
was.
both have our birthdays in December. Hers was on the 17th, and mine is today.
Yeah.
We're recording today on my birthday. So we just celebrated early because she was going to Mexico. So
okay.
she wasn't gonna be here on her birthday.
Okay, yeah,
So
I
that's why.
thought it was someone else's birthday. I didn't think it was yours.
No.
But we'll get into that in a bit. But we're gonna be reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yes,
Holy
sir.
crap, we're at 3 now.
We're at 3.
Dude.
The last movie was 2 years ago, and it was one of the
Yeah.
first movies that we ever reviewed on the pod.
Yes.
Along there with the Northman.
Yeah, that was our first year.
Yeah.
We were noobs.
Uh,
Or so I was a noob, right? Like it's crazy that we're kind of coming full circle here, man. Like I know we said that with some other movies that we reviewed in the first year of our
Yeah.
pod, but it's just kind of interesting. Like holy shit, dude, it's been that long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The true full circle moment will be when we review Matt Reeves' Batman Part 2.
Yeah.
Because Part 1 was our
it'll be the end of that trilogy. That's gonna be the first because
double circle.
yeah.
Double circle.
We start with I think I made this joke before. Fuck, where I
Go
said
ahead.
we started with Batman, we're gonna end with Batman.
type shit.
We just end the pod.
Yeah, guys,
It's our
Batman,
last pod
that's
now.
it.
and we're done.
That's the trilogy. What it'll come out 2030 maybe or something.
Probably,
yeah.
Seems like it. But anyway, but before we actually get into it, I'd like to remind you guys that you guys can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Make sure you follow our socials at Heat Ray Vision Podcast or go to heatrayvisionpodcast.com. You're going to see all of our links through there. Also, make sure you join the Discord. Top link in the description. Join the Discord, guys, where we talk about video games, movies, TV shows. Just come chat with us. Have you know the vibes. But yeah, okay, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And actually, I want to talk a little bit more about the special man today. We're recording on Mario's birthday.
Happy birthday,
Holy
Mario.
shit, right?
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. 20,
Hey, yo, that
25,
sounds, hey, yo.
25 years young. You already know.
Yeah, that's
A quarter
crazy, man.
of a century, bro.
We're halfway through. Well, you guys aren't
you
yet,
an unk,
but-
bro.
Get the
No, I'm
fuck outta here.
playing. No, 25. No, we're still young as hell, but
We're
it's
halfway
just
through our 20s, man. Or I am, at least. You guys will get there.
it's weird to think about. It definitely is weird to think about, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually that's actually crazy. But yeah, wish Mario a happy birthday, guys, in the comments. It's Mario's birthday, and we celebrated his birthday by watching this movie. But later you're gonna be celebrating.
Yeah,
you're
going
gonna
to dinner.
You're gonna be with your siblings.
man.
Yeah,
That's
dinner.
that sounds great, man. Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh wait, real quick as well. Hav actually gave
Oh, yeah.
Mario a gift. Mario,
Yeah.
want to talk about it?
Yeah, so Hav kind of surprised me with it because I wasn't expecting a birthday gift from
Yeah.
either of y'all, which is fine, right? Like we never done that before.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting everything. But Hav walks in and he's like, "Oh yeah, Mario." Oh no, I heard as I was setting this up, I heard Hector was like, "What the fuck is that? I thought we were doing Christmas presents next week or whatever, right?" He's
Yeah,
like,
because
"Oh, nah."
I thought it was that. I thought
Yeah.
it was a Christmas
Yeah.
present.
But I just hear Hav saying, "Nah, girl, it's for
Because
fucking
it
Mario."
was wrapped in Christmas wrapping paper.
Yeah.
It was.
So I just thought like.
But
oh,
I'm just
okay.
like, what? I'm doing my birthday. We didn't get each other shit for our birthdays. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So he comes down and he gives me something. I dap him up, say thank you, and then I open it, and the first thing I see is like the Disney logo and like some like black coloring. And I go immediately, I'm like, all right, this is definitely Star Wars related and I'm immediately thinking it's Darth Vader related, and it was a fucking Darth Vader toaster where you toast your bread like normally, right? But when the bread comes out, it has the like Vader's like face on it. And so when I get home, I'm gonna use. Oh, actually, after the pod, we're gonna pop some toast in and see if it actually does it.
Yeah, if anything, actually, I was gonna snap a picture, post it on our social at Heat Revision Podcast, guys. Go follow us everywhere. I'll probably take a picture, post it, and then I could probably also record a video of us actually using it,
Trying to use that.
and we could post it on there. So
Yeah,
yeah, if you
man.
guys see that, that's just know you know. I'll definitely announce that on the socials. But yeah, it's a definitely cool present, man.
Yeah, because that might actually get used because I have a fine toaster now, but that one's
just
better.
could be better.
Yeah,
It's
it could
not.
just be. It's not that.
It's not a Sith.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, so that I like gifts that can get used every day because I think
Honestly-
it wasn't for us. It was more of a family gift from our
Yeah.
neighbor, but she gave us this
okay.
like thing to put your like warm up your coffee in, but it's not like a kettle. It's literally you plug it in, you pour your water in it, you flip a switch, and it heats up it heats it up.
Oh, okay.
Like that, so it doesn't make it annoying like a whistling noise,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I hated that about kettles. Is
Yeah,
that
me too.
noise?
Me too.
But this one is just it holds a shit ton of water, and we've used it every fucking day. Like I'm not. Even, it became our new coffee shit. And
Okay.
I told my mom like, "Mom, like thank her because like that."
Just don't use this too much, or else you're gonna be heading over to the dark side. Your eyes are gonna start turning red.
That's funny.
You fucking.
I already know my siblings are gonna be like, "That's a cool gift." I know my siblings.
It is, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than the stuff you got last year.
You know what I hate, bro? Is
Hey,
that,
go
like-
listen to guys.
Nah,
Go
you know-
listen to our Aquaman review,
Bro,
where we
know-
actually talk about our Christmas.
You know what I
You'll
hate
understand.
about that is like I am talking shit about my siblings, but why does it have to be on like one of our most viewed fucking like I think that is our most viewed one.
I think it is.
Like
Surprisingly.
that reason.
like I hate it. Like why
Probably.
is it like why couldn't it be one where it got like 8 views on it or some shit? Like God
Everybody
damn
heard it, man.
Yeah, I know, bro.
Everybody
like,
heard
I love
it.
my siblings. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I just like bro.
You did last year.
Oh, no, last
You
year,
did not last
Well, here's the
year.
thing. I know
Already
you
last
love
year.
them. I know you love them.
Yeah.
Do they love
But
you?
do they love you though?
That's
I
crazy.
Here's
a mug with a basketball hoop.
Loki, I didn't go that crazy this year.
Oh yeah, we know.
Yeah, you told us last year.
I just
Yeah.
got
Fuck
my
that. Dude, you were actually upset last
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
Remember last year you were like, I'm
Yeah,
not
I
doing
know.
them shit.
Yeah, he was actually, and like what's funny is like he was actually upset, and like I was just laughing. Like, we were just both laughing, like, dude, there's no fucking way. And obviously I felt bad too, you know. But, but yeah, go listen to our Aquaman review. That's where we
don't.
actually go more in depth about how we.
We
spent our
actually
Christmas.
reviewed Aquaman, but if you want to like just skip ahead halfway through the
Was it
through the
halfway?
yes,
Oh,
it
I
was
thought
like
it was
about
at the end.
halfway.
Yeah.
No, like we spent the entire last half of that pod just talking about each other's Christmases.
Yeah.
Your situation with the Spider-Man PS5
Oh,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
We talked about the Jonathan Majors bullshit that happened last year. So that whole last chunk, the whole like second
Yeah.
half was us just bantering.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. I think we should do that again. Actually, who was it? Someone. Oh, fuck, man. Who was it, man? It was a while ago. Someone DM'd me. I think it was either Josue or fucking Ramiro, man. It's one of you two, bro. I'm trying to remember real quick. I think it was. Yes, I think it was Josue, man. Shout out to you. He was basically just saying how if we were able to talk about our Christmas and like basically what we did for our Aquaman review, and he wants it to be like a tradition. And I told him, well, yeah, man, I mean, I think we've always done that, even our first year, I believe. We
I'm trying to think
recorded.
back. Maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I know for a
remember.
fact we did last year,
I know, yeah.
and this year, I mean, obviously, we do plan on it. The only thing is you probably won't know until you watch the review. Like Aquaman, we just decided to do it there. So I was maybe behind the scenes we could maybe come up with something to do like a little like a holiday special where we just talk about like just talk, bro. Just vibe, talk about our Christmas, maybe talk about some like exciting or news or topics that we want to talk about.
Well,
something
why
like
don't
that.
if we are going to do that, why not
I'm just
have that holiday special
Yeah.
also be our subscriber special?
That's another thing. Yeah,
end the year
that was
off with a
also
bang.
that's another thing that I wanted to talk about because obviously, guys, we hit 1,000 subs. Thank you guys so much. I made a post about it,
Shout out to you guys.
and I was thinking, okay, how are we gonna do this, and when are we gonna do this? Because we've been super busy, man, with the amount of stuff that we're doing, and so I guess that could be a cool. Yeah, I think that would work low key. It could be a holiday special, and it could be our 1,000 sub special, and we could just vibe.
Yeah.
1,000 sub holiday special.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Put a pin in that. Yeah, I think that's
Should
solid.
we do another Q&A? Because I feel like in order to celebrate 1,000 subscribers, we have to honor our listeners in a way because they were the ones that got us to this.
No, yeah.
milestone.
I think that's what I plan on doing.
Alright, for
I'll
sure.
probably make a poll or something if you guys have any questions, or just DM us on our socials, and yeah, be featured on the pod, answer some questions. Because I know Josue was like, yeah, man, I like when you guys, I hope that's a tradition that when you guys talk about your Christmas and shit. Because he says I personally like hearing about your personal lives and shit, and I'm like, I appreciate it. You know, I didn't really, I didn't really expect that, right? We just be spitting top, like we weren't even planning that on the Aquaman
That was
review, I don't
the
think.
day of.
It just came. It just
Like,
kinda
should we
came
do
on
that,
edge.
guys? I remember
yeah,
you saying,
should
like,
we
should we talk about that? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
at the end of
did.
the review. And I was like, all right,
And then
fine.
Mario just went ballistic. Mario just went ballistic, man. But anyway, yeah, we probably might do that, guys. So stay tuned. But okay,
Before we get into the review, I just want to ask one quick question. I don't want to
Okay.
go into a tangent. It's just one question. Do I know the meaning of Christmas, or like, so what's up? That
yeah, what he's basically
I know last
saying,
year you said
what he's basically saying on the HRV score, rating score scale, what would you rate his gift
out of 10.
out of 10?
I mean, that's probably an 8 because he said the one that he got me on Christmas
Ooh,
is
an
even
8?
better than that. So I can't give it a 10 because, like, if it's better than that, then I'm like, well, I'm like, what
I think
else could he got me?
you know what? Okay, he told me. He told me, right? He told me what it is, and I saw it. I think it might be a 10, bro.
Fuck.
I'm scared, bro. Because what if he doesn't like it?
This might be a Dune Part 2 for you, for you, Mario.
No, that's fucking funny. I
You
love
know?
that movie.
But no, yeah, I think you'll definitely like it, man. I hope y'all like.
I
my
hope
No,
gift.
I like that one because that one's just thoughtful.
It is cool.
Yeah, man.
I
So
think-
do I know the meaning of
Yeah, you do.
Christmas?
I think that's sweet as well from last year.
I mean, yeah, if you would have given me that last year, I'd be like, Hav, you got me the best present last year. No joke.
That's
That
crazy.
says a lot.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
It's a toaster.
It's a toaster, bro, with Darth Vader on it. I said Darth Vader. I said dark.
I feel like a lot of people do that, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Hey,
do
man.
that.
But, okay,
I
now
just wanted to know, a
No,
little
yeah.
nod to last year. But all right, man. So Sonic 3.
Yeah,
Sonic
Sonic
3.
3,
I'm going to
wow.
be leading this one, guys. However, I'm going to have Hector chime in a lot because he's the one with the most Sonic knowledge with the video games and stuff like that. I dabbled in Sonic games growing up, but I wouldn't consider myself a hardcore fan. Mario, I believe, is less than that.
It's
So-
kind of like how I am with Marvel.
Yeah, okay. So Hector's the one that has the most knowledge with the lore and stuff like that.
and like I don't want to be like held up high because even then I'm not up
Perfect.
there like with fucking Ramiro, bro.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Ramiro knows his shit.
Ramiro knows his shit, bro.
Yeah.
Brody got like,
And I'm actually excited because, if we do that like holiday special thing,
oh yeah.
I hope he gives us what he tells us what he thought of this movie.
Yeah, actually, on the Discord, we asked him like, "Hey, okay, actually, I can read this out." 'Cause
Oh, okay.
Join our Discord, guys, if you want to be included in
Yes,
the
sir.
conversation. But yeah, he said that he want to go see it, and let me see real quick. He says, "Just finished watching the movie. As a Sonic fan, 10 out of 10.
Whoa. Okay.
As a movie fan,
Uh,
8 out of 10."
oh.
He said, "I'll leave it at that." And then Mario was like, "Bet I just hope it's enjoyable." And I said, "I'm assuming they recreate the Sonic Adventure 2 storyline very well, but maybe there are some things that didn't work, or I'm trying to get more info out of him." He says, "Story was fine. I'm not saying it's bad. I would get into it more, but it's spoiler territory. Once y'all watch it for yourself, I'll message you on IG. But the action was amazing. 100 out of 10."
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, speaking of that, obviously he's gonna see that we posted this review. He'll probably give us like a full length of his review with his knowledge. You feel me?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It probably better than what I'm gonna say, but I was just surprised. Like, okay, 10 out of 10. Okay, yeah, as a movie, but I kind of get it after watching it. I don't want to say too much. I want to hear what you guys think first.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, I just want to clarify. I'm not up there, but I do relatively know some things about Sonic.
All right. So, all right, man. Well, Sonic 3 finally came out. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of stuff that I personally want to bring up and stuff like that. And there's a lot to talk about, man.
Yeah, we'll have a non-spoiler section and then the spoiler section.
And then we'll dive into more detail in the spoiler section. So,
Yeah.
I guess there's a lot of things that I want to sort of bring up. So I guess it only makes sense because I feel like the one thing that at least me and Hector were most excited about for Sonic 3 was Shadow.
Yeah.
And his portrayal, as we found out, Keanu Reeves, right? John Wick is voicing Shadow in this movie. And the way that the post-credit scene in the last movie ended, right? Teased that we were going to be getting Shadow. So more than anything, I was more looking forward to, but at the same time concerned as to whether or not I felt like they did Shadow justice in this movie or not. So I feel like we should talk about that first. So
Okay.
the portrayal of Shadow in Sonic 3, played by Keanu Reeves. I'm more curious to hear what Hector has to say, because I know if Hector is something more than a Sonic fan, it's a Shadow fan.
Yeah.
Because he played the original Sonic the Hedgehog game Shadow the Hedgehog game, my bad, on the original Xbox. So I want to ask, like, what did you think of Shadow's portrayal in the movie?
Ask Mario first. Let me go last.
You want to go last?
I want to go last.
Okay, all right.
I want to hear what Mario thinks.
Okay, all right.
Because I don't know. I feel like Mario be just there sometimes. He'd just be chilling, bro. Like,
Okay.
let's ask Mario.
That's a good point.
I
That's a
mean,
good point. Okay, Mario, you go first. Then I'll go
to
after.
be fair,
from the casual perspective.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
yeah,
know?
from the casual perspective, I mean, I'm not hardcore. I'm like I am with Marvel. I just like I enjoy them. That's it. I'm not gonna dive deep. I don't jump to the point where I want to learn more. It's just the truth of it. But I did think I will say that I think I kind of felt a little bit leaving the movie kind of disappointed because I feel like I thought going in, I thought Shadow was gonna be the main quote unquote bad guy, even though I know from what Hector told me he's not really a bad guy, Mario. He's a antagonist. He's good and bad, and you do get that here. But I thought he was gonna be the focal point. Is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like he didn't really become the focal point until the end of the movie, when obviously some shit happens, right? So I'm just like, oh, okay. It's not really how they portrayed it to us through the marketing, if that makes sense. So I enjoy what we got, yeah, but I just wish there was more of it.
Now to say that you wished there was more, is that safe to say that you liked Shadow in the movie?
Yeah,
Cool.
I did like him. It's just like because I do know the lore behind it because he told me. He told me the lore. So I'm like, oh, I see the bits of the lore. It's just like, it's just quick. I wish dive more deep into it. That way I care more about him.
Yes.
Because what we did get is it gives me a hug. I'm like, but then it goes back to the present shit in what the story is trying to tell you. And then and then there's other shit where obviously he's not really the focal point. And I can't get into the why because that's spoilers.
Sure.
But I felt like he was more of like a side character.
Okay.
If that makes sense. That's how I felt. And that was like one of the things that like I will say it was like kind of a negative for me on this film. And it's one of the reasons why, I mean, spoiler, from the sounds of it, you can tell I'm not going to give this movie a 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why, because I just felt kind of just disappointed in the fact, because like, yo, I
felt he was
want
underutilized?
more. Yeah, he was totally underutilized. I feel like give me more of him. Even though I get the other guy, I get why that guy's there. I just feel like you sold me on Sonic. Not Sonic, you sold me on Shadow. I want to see more Shadow, not this other dude.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so I guess for me, what I thought about Shadow, I thought Shadow was done well. I think Keanu did a good job of kind of giving him like that broody voice of Shadow and stuff like that. Obviously, it's not from the original games and stuff like that, which I knew they weren't going to get the OG voice actor because Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are not voiced by their video game counterparts, right? They're voiced by big actors that are in movies and stuff. So I knew Shadow had to be someone good, and I know I threw out the joke of like Jason Statham as Shadow as like a joke, but a part of me was like, who knows? It could. But Keanu, I thought was an interesting call. I was like, okay, John
I feel like
Wick.
he barely spoke too.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, he very like more reserved. Obviously, I think Shadow is like that in the games. He's more reserved off to the side, except for obviously his solo game. But when he's sharing the screen with Sonic and all the other characters, I think he's more reserved like that. Okay. But I do think that the portrayal of Shadow in this movie was really well done. I think Keanu did a good job voicing Shadow. I will admit that I'm kind of on the same boat as you, as I feel like he was not the main prominence, given that the marketing focused heavily on him, which I know why, because Shadow is one of the most beloved and hyped characters in the Sonic lore. But I do feel like he didn't have a lot of prominence, and like Mario, I did want to dive deeper into his backstory with Maria and like his creation and how he came on this earth. But because this movie, and I guess at this point I'm sort of transitioning into a negative that I have, this movie has a lot of plot and has a lot of setup and side stories kind of happening that they can't focus too much on the Shadow lore. Is what I've noticed, because the movie kind of transitions from being one thing to being about another thing and being about another thing. And I don't want to call it a flaw if that's how it goes down in the games, but I think the way it was adapted into the film was kind of sloppy. I didn't feel like it transitioned very well. And a part of that has to do with, if I'm being honest, the Sonic movies, and it was kind of obvious in the first one, even since then, I think that the Sonic movies are mainly targeted towards kid audiences rather than all ages. Yeah. You can kind of get that from some of the comedies, some of the, you know what I mean? And some of these movies that are aimed for kids, like Moana most recently, right? tend to be like an hour 30, maybe an hour 40 max runtime.
Yeah.
Once you start passing 2 hours, you're going to start putting the kids to sleep. So I think the studio knows that. And because they want to retain that runtime, certain plot points and lore cannot be fleshed out as much as you would want it to. So I do feel like the utter utilization of Shadow and the want to know more of his lore was a result of them trying to fit the runtime to be shorter, and they also wanted to include more things into it. But overall, I thought Shadow was done well, obviously from a casual perspective.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I should have seen more, and you do get more of him in the end of the movie.
Yes, I'm saying.
But
That's like my most
I would have
enjoyable
liked for
part.
him to be a more lingering presence throughout the film, rather than being treated as a side character. But that's just me. All right, and now, what do you think?
Okay. So I can definitely understand like where you guys are coming from. I could definitely see that. But personally, okay, I thought Shadow was represented great, like his mannerisms and his character, right? Keanu voicing him, I'm gonna be real. I just saw like Keanu, like I heard like John Wick, like you know what I mean. Personally, I would have preferred the OG voice actor, right? But that's just me being biased there. But other than that, I thought he did a good job as portraying him. But as a character overall, I do think that he was portrayed well. I thought he was portrayed great. And to, I guess, almost refute to the things you guys are saying. And okay, this movie's kind of strange because this movie takes a lot from the Sonic Adventure 2 storyline and also like the Shadow the Hedgehog game. So they take these scenes, like there's some certain scenes that's from the Shadow the Hedgehog game. You're like, oh shit, I could show you which one I'm talking about. And there's some scenes from Sonic Adventure 2 or like some plot points in that game, and it's kind of like put in together, right? And some things are kind of done differently. So in Sonic Adventure 2, the main villain is Dr. Eggman. He's the main villain, and he's using his grandfather's research to do what he does in this movie, which is like take over and destroy the world and shit like that, right? And then Sonic and Tails typical is trying to stop him, while Shadow is in the background trying to find out the truth of who Shadow is and like his backstory and shit, right? And just like the game, actually that's actually kind of spoilers there to the movie, but so just know that the main villain in the Sonic in that game is Dr. Eggman, but Shadow is I guess he's into the mix, helping him and trying to figure out, okay, what's really going on. He's doing anti-hero shit. We're like, okay, I'm gonna help me. Sonic is like, well, honestly, bro, fuck you, bro. I'm gonna do my own thing, even if it means destroying the world or whatever the fuck. So the way he was used in this movie, it reminded me of how he was in the game.
Okay.
Because it's like, okay, cool. The main villain, sure, it is Dr. Eggman. What is different is Dr. Eggman's grandfather, Gerald. He was not in the game, like physically. Brody was dead. He was in the game by I believe, I'm trying to remember, man. It's been so long. I think by flashbacks or like the research shit that Dr. Eggman saw, and and even though he wasn't physically there, he still influenced a lot of Eggman's decisions and like his motives and shit. Whereas here in the movie, he's here, like he's alive, and that's how he tries to influence Dr. Eggman. Like that's the difference there, right? But Shadow being the main villain, like what you guys hope he was gonna be, he wasn't like that.
Okay.
In the game, and he was just like in the movie. I want to say, bro, like he was like a problem, but he wasn't the main focal point villain. The main villain was Dr. Eggman all along, because he's the one trying to do that shit. Meanwhile, Shadow is not intentionally like helping Dr. Eggman, but he's just doing what he's doing what he needs to do in order to find out like what the fuck is the truth, like who the fuck am I, like what is this Maria and all this bullshit, right? And then the whole Maria storyline, it dives is explained more in the actual Shadow the Hedgehog game, like a lot more. And certain scenes, like remember the scene where in the movie where like he's holding her hand and they're running and shit. Like that's a scene from the game, the Shadow the Hedgehog game.
Oh wow.
So there's a bunch of scenes that I've caught and I'm like, yo, this is actually pretty fucking fire. But overall, the way Shadow was in this movie is kind of what I expected. because that's how he was in the game in Sonic Adventure 2. And the main villain, obviously, Dr. Eggman, I kind of already knew that. At least that's what I was expecting, right? That was going to happen. I did not expect Dr. Eggman's grandfather to pull up, and be there physically, and him be the mastermind and shit. I wasn't expecting that, right? Did I like it? I'm gonna be honest with you. I guess I don't think so, man. Because in the game they do it really well to where Eggman is influenced just by the research that he's done. You know, like, oh my god, like this is my grandfather's work, and he's influenced that way. Versus here, he's influenced just because, like, oh, he never had a family member. Like, oh, you're my grandfather. I never had anyone in my family. You know what I mean? I personally didn't like that. You know, but going back to Shadow, the way Shadow is in this movie, I expected it because it's similar to the game. But I do understand that the last movie did like hint it towards, especially people who don't know anything about Sonic lore and shit, did hint it to where he was going to be the main like villain. And I could definitely see why that could be like a bummer to some people. I mean, for you, Mario. And but yeah, in the game, that's just in the way the movie played out, it's similar to the game. If that makes sense. But there are some things where Ramiro said, oh, Sonic fan 10 out of 10, movie 8 out of 10. And I can see that now. Because there's a lot of shit in here that takes from the games, bro. Like plot points, scenes, like all these different types of story elements into one. And it's fire. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, it's fucking lit. I like it a lot. I was geeking out and shit. But when he says the movie part, it's like, okay, I get it. Because I feel like they could have done better. Like they could have executed it in a way that it would have been more satisfying, if that makes sense. Like, I guess we could talk about the. Is there another point? I was going to talk about like some negatives.
No, we can talk about that.
So I think one negative that I had that I have about this movie, that was like, okay, man, like, dang, what the fuck, is the amount of like comedy.
Oh yeah, that was
Yes.
one of
That
mine.
was one of
That was
mine.
my major one.
I
So-
think it's not so much the comedy. There's some jokes. There are comedy scenes that I think worked in the movie.
Yeah.
But a lot of them rely on being too dumbed down and too straight up child-like.
Yeah.
That it didn't come across as funny some of the times. And
Yeah.
much respect to the GOAT. Right? A lot of those came from comedic scenes that involved Jim Carrey's Dr. Eggman.
With his character and just overall the movie, like the overall humor in the movie, they fucking upped the scale, bro.
Yes.
Compared to the first two movies.
I was gonna say I don't remember the first two movies being this
That
comedic
goofy.
like
Fuck
and
no,
this
bro.
goofy.
Fuck no. And that's my main issue, bro.
Yes.
That's my main issue. And not only that, I don't know if you noticed this, Hav, but sometimes the dialogue and the overall script is kind of like, how do I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. No. I'm gonna say this, but it's gonna sound bad, but it's like kind of mediocre, where it's like an average, like, oh my god, is this normal? No, it's not normal.
Yeah.
That means he's gonna like pop up or some shit. You know what I mean? Like the way they expedition dump in this movie, and they do it so like obvious, like, dude, we have to go. We have to run away. Why do we have to run away? Is it because Dr. Eggman is blah 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 blah? Like shit like that. I don't know.
Straightforward dialogue.
Yeah, it's super straightforward dialogue, and I don't remember like getting that vibe from the first two movies. Like this movie, like I feel like they dumbed it down. Like what you said, they dumbed it down because they realized, holy shit, first movie was a hit, second movie was more of a hit. Now we know that most of our audience is obviously kids. I mean, dude, when we went, there was a bunch of kids, right? Yeah. Let's cater to them a bit more. More goofy scenes, more weird, like cheeky one-liners, right? More expedition dumps, so like the kids can understand what's happening. Right? I think that's my overall issue. And then they said, but what about the rest of the fan base? Just throw some meta jokes in there. They'll love it. Right? And the meta jokes is they talk about, Godzilla. They talk about like real life pop culture references. And they twist it in a joke. Some of them land, some of them don't. Right? But I think that is my main issue with this particular movie, bro, is I did not like the heightened humor that we got in this film.
Yeah.
And And what else? I want to say is Dr. Gerald Robotnik and like Dr. Eggman. I personally don't like his character transitioned to even more goofiness because he was already goofy from the first movie and like the second movie.
Yeah.
But here, bro, it's like it's on a different level.
It's on a different level.
It's on a different level. It's
to
like,
me, I feel like the goofiest thing I saw Eggman do in the second movie when Tails and Knuckles got introduced, right?
Yeah.
Was that I don't know if you remember. There's a scene where Eggman does the floss stance. I don't know if you remember. He's with Knuckles and then like he says something and he does like the floss stance.
Yeah.
That's probably like the goofiest thing I remember him doing in the last movie.
Yeah.
Here I can maybe list like 3 or 4.
There's a lot.
That I'm like.
There's
He wasn't
one where
like
I'm just
this
like,
before.
what is this?
Like it's just too high end, bro. And if you watch Knuckles, so we watched Knuckles. We were Mario and I saw that and we reviewed it. Go check it out. And I got a lot of Knuckles vibes.
Yeah,
here.
bro.
Yeah,
If
bro.
you, I don't know if you've seen Knuckles.
I have. Yeah.
Oh, you have, dude, bro. Like the comedy in that movie, it's like they transferred it here. And remember when they had like weird dance cues and musical cue, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not spoilers. I'm gonna just say it. Like there's something similar in this movie. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Why are you guys?
Bro, when that scene came on, I thought of Knuckles. I was like, why am I getting like Knuckles vibes? Like,
no,
what
yeah,
is
and like
this?
obviously it's what to cater to kids, man.
yeah.
It's to cater to the kids.
Yeah.
And I get it, and I understand. Hey, it is what it is. But personally, I just don't like that, man. And I think it's something that really bothered me, man, to the point where I couldn't necessarily enjoy as. I thought I was gonna come out of this fucking movie and be like, yo.
Great
Banger, right?
Yeah.
But I came out of it being like, it was good, but like, man, I have some issues with it, right?
Yeah.
So that's like my main issue, right? And I want to say, okay, and actually, this kind of going back a bit with Shadow and like the whole Maria thing. From what I remember from the Shadow the Hedgehog game, in this movie, we got more scenes with Maria than we do in the actual game.
Oh, wow.
In the game, from the Shadow the Hedgehog game, not Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow the Hedgehog game, we get glimpses of that. Of like, oh, it's just Maria like getting like killed or whatever, or Shadow running in the hallway with her and shit. Like we just get glimpses of that, and he's like, what the fuck? What, like who could it be? And then later we find out the truth, right? But those scenes that we got in this movie, where they're watching a movie together, where they're fucking playing around, like those scenes, that's more than we've gotten from the game. And personally, I like that.
Yeah.
And I understand, but you guys said the opposite. We're like, oh, we wanted more. And I understand, and that's where it comes in, where what Ramiro said, man. If you're a Sonic fan, 10 out of 10, right? Because the amount of references and they kind of expand a little bit with certain scenes, with Shadow and Maria, like you'll definitely like it. But as a movie, I could definitely understand where you guys are coming from. Because even then, I kind of agree with Mario and you, where it kind of felt a little bit too quick. We maybe should have seen a little bit more. And keep in mind, guys, just because Shadow the Hedgehog is an actual game doesn't mean it's a fucking masterpiece, right? The game itself has issues, right? Just because it's from the source material doesn't mean it's sacred. I always like to say that because some people say, oh, from the comics. Just because it's from the comics, it's holy grail. No, bro. Bro, I'm not going to lie to you, there's some comic books that I read that were shit.
Yeah.
That I did not like. I'm like, yo, what am I reading right now? So just because it's from the source material does not mean it's holy grail. If anything, I would argue that I did in this movie the whole Maria and Shadow situation, how they built that relationship up. I enjoyed that more than what I got from the game. But in a movie perspective, right? From the movie perspective, I definitely do understand where you guys are coming from, where you wanted some more. Because it did feel kind of a little bit rushed and shit. And so, yeah, I would say that is kind of a negative for me in the movie perspective. But overall, them showing more scenes with Maria and stuff, I personally did.
I was about to say, yeah, that makes sense.
I did personally enjoy.
That's cool.
And a scene, I guess, it's not really a spoiler. In a scene where, because I believe it's in the trailer, where Sonic, like, kind of is weak and shit, and he falls down, and then Shadow's like right behind him. That's from a scene from the Shadow the Hedgehog game.
Isn't it from the opening?
It's from the opening.
Yeah, I remember you showing me the opening.
Yeah, do you remember where like he's all weak and that's exactly. I'm like, that's where I point. I'm like, oh shit, that's from the game, bro.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So they have moments like these, bro, and they have references.
Cool.
They have so much. They have a lot, bro, in this movie. To where I caught on. I'm like, yo, that's actually that's lit, bro.
Yeah.
Little tiny little details, like when Shadow was fighting, he uses thrusters to like as like a weapon because he has like those
Yeah, I
thrusters on
saw.
his boots, and like him skating, whenever he would teleport and like his movements, how he would fight when he's teleporting, it's like the game. So it's fire. I like it. It's just everything else that
They even gave him the gun.
the gun. Well, here's the thing, man. With the gun situation, they're saying, "Oh, it's his gun," but I don't remember him using that type of gun.
I know. We know why though.
Yeah, you know
We
what I
know
mean.
why.
But people are saying, "Oh, it's his gun." I'm like,
It's
what are you
not.
talking about? For, like,
I remember you showing me. It's
from
not.
Shadow the Hedgehog, bro.
It's
He be
not.
picking up GUN guns.
Yeah,
feel me?
really, like MP5s,
Killing
fucking
motherfuckers, bro.
Dracos and shit. Yeah,
You know what I
I know
mean?
what you mean.
But here,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, it's a futuristic type of
But-
gun, which is
yeah.
cool. It's a little detail, right? It's like it's a kids
yeah.
movie.
I picked that
still-
up. I was like,
yeah.
oh, that's a
Yeah,
nod
you know,
towards the
I'm
game.
so happy about
Yeah.
that. You know, would have been. Now I'm kind of thinking, what if we got like a rated R Shadow, bro?
That would be
Shadow
cool.
Shadow the Hedgehog, just that, and it's him actually killing people, bro.
That'd be fire.
That'd be fire, but it's never gonna happen.
I know it'll never happen, but bro, I'd be fired. Hey, play the
Yeah.
game, bro. You be killing motherfuckers, bro. I'm not even kidding. You be killing gun members, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually crazy how they went there. And at the time, actually, people did not like that.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, Shadow the Hedgehog was poorly received on the time of the release, bro.
But with age, with time passing, people are like, you know what's actually fire.
You know, I think that's what happens a lot.
Shit like
right?
that happens from time to time.
You know,
man.
but I will admit it does have its issues, like gameplay
Yeah.
wise, and like even sometimes of the story it could be muddy. Like it has its issues. Me personally, I always liked it. Like even
Yeah.
the whole gun situation, people were not a fan of that. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you killing? Like, that's too far. Like, he's an anti-hero. He doesn't have to be a full-on villain killing innocent people, right? Not innocent people, but you know,
yeah.
The villains and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Me personally, I was like, hey man, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Hard, that shit kind of hard. But anyway, was I gonna go with this? Oh, and also the overall story, bro. I'm gonna be honest. If we're gonna talk now about the plot and the story, I'm gonna be honest. Even though it's what I expected, and some things are different, I just wasn't really fully immersed like I was in the last movie. I don't know if you guys felt that way.
I don't know the way.
Like, were you guys interested in what was happening, like in the whole
I
plot?
feel like I could have been. I could have been because it's kind of tough without getting into spoilers, but because
Yeah.
I wanted to see more of Shadow,
Yeah.
the story, and it, obviously we didn't get more of that or his like backstory or whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get hooked. I feel like if they would have done just a little bit more of Shadow lore or just more time with him, you would have grown a connection with him to the point where like when the story flows and we get to that the ultimate apex of the story,
Yeah.
you feel it a whole lot more. You're like, yes, let's get it. Like, let's go, Shadow. But when that moment came in the movie, I'm kind of just like, all right, yeah, I mean, cool. It's cool. But, like, I'm not invested.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man.
I'm
And I
the
feel
same way, but for different reasons
For real, why?
than
Okay.
yours.
Go ahead.
I think I agree with Hector. I think I wasn't as fully immersed, and I think what kept taking me out was certain things in the movie that didn't work for me. For example, a lot of it being just a comedy. The childlike comedy, often coming from Jim Carrey, which he's the GOAT, right? I'm not
Yeah.
trying to throw disses,
Yeah.
but it's just like he acted a lot more goofy in this movie than he did in the last two. You know what I mean? And especially because now Jim Carrey is playing two different characters. He's playing Eggman and also Gerald Robotnik.
Yeah.
There's this dynamic between the two where they're both doing things together, and there are just straight up scenes in this movie that I felt like I get it. It's a movie made for kids, but now we're like pushing a little bit too far. Now I'm actually like, I'm physically cringing in my seat, being like, what the fuck? This is not funny to me. This is not even remotely entertaining.
Yeah.
It's straight up goofy. This is supposed to be a climatic, holy shit, we gotta like do this soon before the bad guys win situation.
Yeah.
And they're treating it like a joke.
Yeah.
So I think I wasn't fully immersed because they kept breaking the immersion by not taking itself too serious with some of the comedic scenes.
Yeah, I agree.
And a lot of that came from the two Robotniks, from them doing their silly goofy shit. And it's like, I get that the Sonic games were never meant to be taken serious,
Yeah.
but they are games. And I mean, it has that like, even like just Sonic's art style, Sonic's dialogue, the cutscenes, him calling him Eggman. Yeah, there was a sense of fun, but there's a difference between like having a fun element and having it be straight up for kids.
Yeah.
And I feel like even though the movie tried to be fun, it was very obvious also trying to cater to kids with some of the dialogue, some of the scenes, like comedic scenes and stuff, and that's what I think broke my immersion. I don't think it's so much that I didn't grow a connection with Shadow, because I think I did. I think I was very invested in Shadow's character, though I wish I would have seen more of him.
Yeah.
But you explained that that's accurate to the games, right? But I think more to me, the reason why I kept breaking immersion with the movie is because the two Robotniks were on scene, and they had to, like, do a dumb dialogue joke that didn't land. They had to have a scene, a comedic scene that didn't feel necessary or relevant to the plot.
Yeah.
Or at the stakes, that how high the stakes are right now, and we're doing this bullshit. And it's, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's how you took it.
Yeah.
Or
No.
why were you not immersed?
No, because of that reason.
Okay.
Because I agree, because we would have moments that it was like serious, like, okay, some heartfelt shit.
Yes.
And then it cuts to like something goofy as fuck, or like someone,
Yeah.
or they break the seriousness with a joke or something. And here's the thing: we see that in the last movie and the first movie, like there's humor, right? But here they just turned that shit up, in my opinion. You know what I
Yep.
mean? I just felt like it was too much, especially
Kind of like what
the
they
way,
did with Ragnarok.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, like, do you guys get Love and Thunder vibes where you're like,
Oh,
damn,
Love and
this-
Thunder, my bad, not that
where
one.
it's like,
Yeah.
damn, like this movie's comedic like the last one, but they amplified it.
Yeah.
Do you guys get that vibe with this one? I kind of
Yeah,
got that
bro.
vibe where I'm like,
I
this
still don't
feel
think
like, this kind of feels like Love and Thunder. I feel like they
it's not
took-
as crazy because that was legit 24/7.
Oh no, yeah.
This one's
obviously.
just close to it.
No, yeah. I
Yeah.
think I'm not saying that it's as bad or as comedic as Love and Thunder, but rather I'm saying it reminds me of Love and Thunder in the sense that I think the filmmakers took what worked about the last movie, which was, I guess, the comedy, and
Yeah.
amplified it to 11.
Yeah,
And
man.
that's kind of the thing that hinders it. It's kind of
Yeah.
like how Ragnarok and Love and Thunder went down.
Yeah. Especially like, bro, it's the fate of the earth, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And yet, like,
We have these little
Yeah.
we have
And
these
you
pauses.
You don't feel the stakes.
No,
exactly.
exactly.
Like
You don't
even
feel
though
the
the
stakes.
stakes are high and Earth is in
You don't
peril,
feel it.
The movie, the story, it still makes time for like some little jokes and little funny scenes,
Yeah.
and it's like, are we not supposed to take this? Or it's not supposed to be funny though. Like the world's about to blow up or some bullshit. Like we're not supposed to be being funny.
Yeah.
And yet it still does. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I kept breaking immersion. And a part of me
Yeah.
is like, a part of me still like wanted to hold a grasp into the film. Like I still want to be invested.
Yeah.
But like every single dialogue joke, every comedic scene that I found to be too childish or too cringe, just kept breaking the immersion for me, bro.
I want to say that, like, maybe the second half of the movie or like the third act, I think I liked it a lot.
No, yeah, me too.
Because that's where they actually, okay, they transition to more serious. They even if they do subtle jokes, it wasn't like overbearing like from before, like other scenes that we've gotten. So I thought it ended strong, but I do agree, like I just wasn't really fully immersed. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say something crazy, but okay, one positive thing that I will say, and I'll give it its flowers, you know, hey man, this is actually solid, is that right from the beginning of the movie, we mostly get Sonic and his friends, like, throughout the movie.
Yeah.
It's not like the first movie or second movie where, like, there's some human actors, they have their scenes and shit. If anything, those guys barely get any scenes. And here in this movie,
Yeah.
we see a lot more of Sonic and his friends and shit. We could tell that, hey, they got a lot of money from the other movies, that they're able to do a lot more CGI scenes with these guys, right? That's a positive. I definitely do like it. But what's weird is that in the beginning of the movie, just the plot building was moving kind of fast. But in my opinion, even though like it was getting to the point, I just thought like it was kind of slow. I don't know how to explain it. Like I just wasn't really immersed with everything that was going on.
yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, dude. I
think
wasn't as
maybe
hyped.
it's just a buildup of everything of like the negatives you had, and it made you feel that way. Until we got to that second act where you're like, yo, now I'm hooked.
Yeah, I think that maybe because at the time I just really, I don't know, man. I just wasn't really interested. I wasn't super immersed. I was having more fun with like the references that there was and like the
Than the
scenes.
actual story being told.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And could it be that I kind of know how the story's gonna end? Could it be like, oh,
I
it's
mean,
'cause
well, you
know
can
what?
say
I
that, but
kinda know.
you still enjoy Marvel movies, and you know how those. You have an idea of how they might end because you're.
I'm gonna be real. Marvel is super different, bro. I'm gonna be okay. There's one positive thing is with these movies, they stay true to like the stories.
Uh huh.
With Marvel, bro, they doing whatever, bro. I'm gonna be real. Sometimes they just be doing whatever the fuck they want. And it's completely different.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I really like the Sonic movies, because okay, they're really from the source material. But here's the thing: even though I kind of had I knew what was gonna happen in the first movie, or even the second movie, especially the second movie, I was still immersed and I enjoyed myself. I'm like, yo, this shit fucking lit. Rather in this movie, it's like, okay, yeah, I know what's gonna happen, but I don't know. I'm not really into it. You know, like I get more fun out of seeing the references in the scenes from the video games, and more action. Right? Like I get more joy out of seeing the characters more, rather than what they're saying and like how the plot's gonna play out. That's just me. I don't know. I don't know if you guys felt that way.
No, it's the same way, bro. For me, it's just a buildup of like the humor that just wasn't working for me. The story not going necessarily the way I expected to do. Not saying it has to go the way I wanted to. I just thought it would be more in terms of like how invested I would be with Shadow, and then with like the whole villain issue. That shit just didn't, because I was being sold one thing. I got something completely different going and watching the movie. So all that, I was like, all right, if it's not gonna go the way you guys told me or marketed it was gonna go, let me see what it actually is, and is it good? For me, it wasn't good. So that just it was just, for me, a certain time, it's like, all right, I'm watching a kids movie at this point, because I'm just like, all right, outside the action scenes, like I'm watching a kids movie.
It felt like Knuckles, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm watching Knuckles, and then like, okay, when does it pick up? Because in Knuckles, for me, in my opinion, bro, it never picked up in Knuckles, but here it picked up, and that was the final act of the movie.
And there's something like about, oh my god, is like. It's spoiler. We'll talk about them in spoilers. That's go more different spoilers, but it's something to do with the Master Emerald.
Oh, I
did not like that scene.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it reminds.
I did
you
not
of,
like that scene with the
yeah.
Master Emerald situation that we got. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck, bro? Really, bro? Like, we're doing this.
I know what you mean.
It's sacred.
I know, right?
It's sacred, but this is what we got.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just certain things where they're trying to be funny and do too much. And it's like, all right, man, this is kind of unnecessary.
Like a waste of time.
Yeah, but like I said, the positives is hey, they're staying true to the ideas and the story of Sonic. The amount of references, how everything's playing out, it's fucking solid. Like I actually love it, man. I was like entertained, and also the CGI. The CGI looked great. I like how Sonic looks. I like how all the different characters and the fight sequences. And I guess we could talk about next is, what did you guys think about the action in this movie?
No, I thought it was good.
I thought the action was really good.
I think it's the best part. It's the best thing about it.
Absolutely. I loved it, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably the best part of the movie.
Absolutely. And it sucks because it's like, damn, like this is fire, but the rest is like, it's kind of lackluster.
You would think that, like, it's funny because
man.
I'm known as like the action guy, right? Like I always bring up
It's
John
like Mission
Wick.
Impossible, but not a good story.
Dude, Mission Impossible is fire.
But imagine if it didn't have like a boring mid-ass story. Let's be real. How wouldn't be hyping them up?
No.
I think
because they have a fire story to go along with these amazing set pieces. Like, yo, this is amazing.
It's just the main issue is like what Hav and I said. I truly believe if they stuck to the normal humor from the first two movies, I think I would have been more immersed.
Same.
Because the humor is what broke the immersion, bro. Oh, hey man, we're trying to save the day, whatever. Let me bust out a breakdance real quick though. Like,
dude, I mean,
what the fuck is going on?
For me, I guess out of all three Sonic movies, bro, this is probably like my least favorite one. And it's saying because this movie's not even bad in my opinion.
Honestly,
I don't think this is a terrible movie.
That's kind of crazy because this was the one that we were at least me and Hector, we were most hyped because Shadow was getting
because I remember how I left out of Sonic 2.
Sonic 2, I
enjoy Sonic 2 more than this movie, like way more than this fucking movie.
And like, here's the thing, like, what the fuck? Because all I've been seeing is how people love this movie.
Same, bro.
And love it more than the first two. And
I looked it up. I don't know if you saw me.
It's like, am I being a Debbie Downer,
bro? I don't know if you saw me in the theater because I looked it up on my phone. I looked up the Rotten Tomato score for it, and I was like, how are people doing it? And I'm like, damn, people love this shit.
Yeah, actually, what is it? What is it, Mario?
I think it was like 95 audience, and then like 80 something critic.
Really?
80 something around there.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's just I kind of do feel the same way. You know, I actually looking back. My biggest negative in Sonic 2 was the whole like wedding shit.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I did want to talk about that.
I hated that.
I wanted to talk about that. Kind of backtracking to what you said earlier. I wanted to chip in, but I didn't want to interrupt you. No, you're good. You're good. But I do agree with the two things that you mentioned earlier. You said you had a positive and a negative, and I agree. The positive is that I like that this movie focused on Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails more than the human characters. My negative is what I felt like was the negative in the last movie, and that is that the humans, right, James Marsden and his wife in the movie, are just felt like they're shoehorned into the movie. You just kind of have the feeling that these actors signed on for a trilogy movie deal, and so they had to be in this movie. I like that they even made the call of like, okay, contractually they have to be in this movie, but we don't need to use them that much. Let's keep the focus on Sonic, Shadow, Knuckles, and Tails mostly, and obviously Robotnik, because that's the main arch nemesis. But like James Marsden and his wife, man, they could just stay off to the side. And for a lot of this movie, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Until they eventually come back into the fold when Shadow's like, we need your guys' help. And they have to come into the fold. And even then, when they're in the fold, they're in it for a little bit. And then they fuck off again. So I'm just kind of reiterated with what I was met in the last movie. And that is that I firmly believe the human characters should just be fucking scrapped.
No, I agree.
I am
Dude,
actually.
I
am. This is the movie. Like the last movie gave me that vibe where I'm like, I don't think we need these guys. And I get like the story that James Marsden's character, Tom, right, finds Sonic and like fathers him into this family and whatever, and they're like best friends, right?
Yeah.
I get it. Because I don't know how you would tell a Sonic movie where he's in Earth on his own without having a human character to like show him the world. I get it, but it's just like the last movie felt like the filmmakers didn't know what to do with the characters, so they added a sub story where Tom's wife's sister is getting married, and there's this whole side story that's happening that you don't care about because you're more focused on Sonic and Tails going up against Knuckles, and the fact that Knuckles was carried by the voice acting of Idris Elba, which I think is fantastic.
Because the rest of the movie was fire. It's just like
that sub story.
I hated that,
and so
it was so long.
Yeah,
it was so long. I don't know if you remember, bro. It lasted like a long time.
Yeah. And like, so with this movie, I like the call that they utilized them less. But even when they finally came into the fold, I was met with the same feeling of like, you bring nothing to the plot.
Yeah,
we're doing more comedic scenes that the filmmakers thought would be funny, which is not. I'm being presented with scenes that are not funny. I don't know. I just feel like they should just be done with.
I might sound like a bitch. Ready?
Oh, okay.
There are some in this movie. There's some scenes regarding the actual human characters where like you're supposed to feel something. I'm gonna be real. I personally didn't feel shit.
No, me neither.
I'm gonna be real.
Me neither.
But it's a moment that you're supposed to.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely.
But it's like
you don't.
You just don't care.
And I know why. And I know why. It's because they butchered the human element in the last movie. I think the dynamic between Sonic and James Marsden in the first Sonic movie was done well.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. And I think if the filmmakers knew how to better establish the bond with them better in the second movie, you probably would have felt that. Or that scene that we're referencing in this third movie. The problem is, in order for you to make a successful Sonic franchise, you have to give fans, especially the gamers, fans of the Sonic games, what they want to see. And what do people wanted to see in the second movie? More Sonic characters. So what did you do? You threw in Tails and you threw in Knuckles. And as we know in the Sonic games, the real friendship bond is Sonic and Tails. So now we have to make the movie focus on their friendship and show their bond build through the movie as they go up against Robotnik and Knuckles, which means the human characters, which is kind of something that you enjoyed about the first movie, has to take a back seat. But the actors are contractually obligated to be in a trilogy of movies, so let's throw in a side story involving the wife's sister getting married and have some scenes where they're fucking around with that shit.
Yeah.
The second movie is what I feel butchered the human element. Because they wanted to focus on Sonic and Tails being friends and going up against Knuckles and eventually befriending him, right? And I'm not saying that was a bad thing. Obviously, it's from the games, right? You want to give fan service to the fans.
It does.
And I understand that you wanted to build the friendship. But I think you should have had James Marsden, and I honestly don't really care for the wife character because she wasn't even in it that much in the first movie, if you remember. I think it would have been better if it was just him alone. Have him tag along with Sonic and Tails to go up against Knuckles and Robotnik. And you would have felt the closer friendship between him, Sonic, and Tom a little bit more. But because he was literally detached from the storyline, because he was off doing that wedding side quest that no one gave a fuck about, it kind of fucked the setup for the third movie. So now you don't care for the human element in the third movie because it wasn't well established in the second movie. It was set up well in the first movie. They butchered it in the second, and the third one just felt like damage control.
Yeah.
It's almost like Disney Star Wars.
No, I definitely.
But I think that's where it went wrong.
Yeah.
It was the last movie that fucked up. Because I'm with you. That scene, the emotional scene with the human element, I also didn't care. But it's also because why should I? The movies didn't tell me that I should care for these human characters.
Maybe the writers and directors kind of knew that, maybe, because that particular scene only happened to further the plot with Sonic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
it was to get him in a certain mindset and sort of add his character development.
Exactly. But it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just didn't really buy it in my
Now
opinion.
here's the question, and I'm gonna be spoiler free, right? I'm gonna try to be as vague as possible for people who haven't seen the movie. The emotional scene that we're talking about that involved the humans, right?
Yeah.
That is what we said that was just kind of forced into the movie to kind of force Sonic's character development to be like, you know what I mean? Do you think that the emotional scene with the humans, do you think you would have felt it more if it was Shadow or Knuckles? Or sorry, Tails or Knuckles in that position rather than the humans?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's because we actually care about them. You know?
Exactly,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
I agree. I think if it wasn't the humans in this emotional scene, and if it was instead Knuckles or Tails in that position, I think I would have felt it more.
Absolutely.
But you can't feel that way for the humans because the last movie kind of fucked shit up.
Yeah.
So I think I agree. No, I agree. I think if it was Knuckles or Tails in that position, I would have felt.
And
the
it
scene
sucks,
more.
man, because like I was super hyped about this movie. Like, here, don't get me wrong, I like the movie.
Yeah.
I don't like, maybe Mario dislikes it more than me, right? I like the movie. But could it be my bias? Sure. Like I love the references. I love the action sequences. It's just there's these little things that I just don't like as much, bro, and it just hinders it for me to give it like a 10, bro. Or like, you know what I mean? And it sucks because there's the potential. Like I see the potential.
Like with the Knuckles show, we're like, bro, there's potential with this
With
show.
the Knuckles, there is potential, bro. It's just, but
What it was not Knuckles. That's what it was.
no, it was called the Wade Show.
Yeah.
That's what it was called.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, it's just kind of unfortunate that I kind of wish that I enjoyed this movie like more than I did the last one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be real. I don't think I do, man. I'm gonna be real. Like I don't think I do. But I do love the references. And I love the little Easter eggs. There's the scenes. I love the chemistry between them three. I love how they portrayed Shadow and the extra look that we got with him and Maria, like the action sequences, right? I do love all of that. It's just, you know, the smaller things that we talked about, it's just hinders it for me. And I think I truly now understand what Ramiro meant when he gave those 2 ratings. I'm like, you know what, Ramiro meant? Like that makes perfect sense because I feel the same way. You know, is there anything else in the non-spoiler that we could talk about? I mean, we talked anything.
No,
any other
We
negatives?
talked about
or any
next thing I want to talk
characters. We talked about the human, Shadow,
Writing.
the writing, the action, Robotnik.
What else? What you're
You
gonna
said
say
you
something
had
else?
something else you want to talk about?
I wanted to head to spoilers so I can talk about the scene I hated the most.
But that's spoiler section.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I think
There's nothing for non-spoiler.
I think we've covered everything.
No.
I think as far as
Okay, wait, real
spoiler-free
quick.
section.
What y'all think about the pacing? How long was this movie? I don't even know.
I don't know. If I had to,
It
I'll look it up.
I'm not gonna
I'll look
say
it up.
It felt long.
If I had to
but
take a guess, probably like an hour 40.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't long, but it did feel kind of long. I'm not gonna say like, bro, I was
Okay,
fucking
I got to hear what how long this movie is.
no,
I'm just curious.
because it did feel kind of long for me. Up
Yo,
until we
Mario.
got to that third act where I was like, yo,
Dude,
let's get
Mario,
it.
I want you to watch Craven, cause bro, the pacing.
I'll
in
watch
that-
it. No, I know. You know.
Mario,
I'll
the
watch.
pacing in that movie is dog shit, bro.
Bro, I'll watch it because what's it called? It's gonna be on Netflix. I know it is.
Yeah.
Whoa! What the fuck? No way!
What?
No way!
How long is it?
Don't say an hour 30. If it says an hour 30,
Holy
then I'm gonna
shit.
completely change my answer because I don't think it's an hour 30. I think it's an hour 40.
low key. Hold on, let me check Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe I'm tripping. There's no way. Hold on,
Yo,
guys.
I
Give
was
me one
scared,
quick
bro.
sec. Give me one quick
me
sec.
check.
I was
Because there's
scared.
no way that runtime. That makes no sense to me. Hold on.
Is it long?
Hold on.
I'm confused. But anyway, shout out to you, Ramiro. Man, I think you hit it like
Really?
Holy
I think
shit!
you nailed it, man.
No, it's correct.
What is it?
This movie's an hour 50.
Whoa.
That's 10 minutes away from 2 hours. That's long for
It
a
is
kids
long.
movie.
Yeah.
Interesting. It did not feel like an hour 50. To me, it actually kind of felt like an hour 40. I felt like
That's where I
the
thought.
pacing of this movie felt like what I expected. Knowing that the Sonic movies were targeted more towards kids and they don't make Sonic movies 2 hours plus long to fill in, to like do justice to like the lore and whatever. This movie, the pacing, like, I don't know, it didn't felt long or short. It felt like a Sonic movie. It felt like what I expected.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know, but what did you think?
Yeah.
What did you think about the pacing?
Well, I was gonna say that there was moments where I thought it was dragging. There's some moments where like, all right, bet that felt like it went by fast. And I think it's just the moments where I thought when we saw the team together and like
Yeah.
action and shit, where I thought I was like, yo, okay, bet. But with the whole setup, world building, and like when we got scenes with Dr. Eggman and fucking his grandfather, I didn't really care as much, and it felt like it was dragging. I'm like, all right, bet, let's move on. But it could be just because of those scenes.
I get you.
You know what I mean? I just wanted to be done with or something.
I get
Nah,
you.
feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
But okay, I guess we want to go to our ratings.
yeah.
Mario, you go first, and how? And then,
You want him to go first?
I want Mario to go first.
All right. I mean, this movie, I truly, I don't think it was a waste of my time.
Oh, should we rate the first movies too?
We did.
Well, we
already.
did when we reviewed those.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, you gave
Yeah,
it.
we reviewed them.
You gave it a 9. Sonic 2,
Did I?
9 or 8. You gave both 8 or higher. This one, I don't know.
Maybe I was just off the hype on Sonic 2. I might.
It was like 8 or 9. I could check, but it was pretty sure it's one of
Yeah,
those two.
we should probably go check. I
What
mean, I
about the
remember,
first
like,
movie?
I will say this. Actually, no, I'll let you go first. I'll save my piece when it's my turn.
What about the first movie?
I can
The first movie, I have a guess as to what I rated it. It was too long ago. It was so long ago.
long ago. Let me see.
While you look for that, should we?
You can give your rating.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'll go
Go
first.
then.
Then. I'll go first. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to unfortunately admit what I don't want to admit, bro, and that is
Okay.
that I think this is my least favorite in the trilogy.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite, which sucks because I was looking forward to Shadow and obviously all the hype behind it. But I think this was my Love and Thunder. Thor Love and Thunder. I think this was mine because the movie amplified its comedy from the last two movies up a little bit too much, involving Jim Carrey's Robotnik's characters, both of them. I felt like they kind of ran through the plot of this movie, which is like, bro, when it comes to Sonic, keep the speed running to the games, bitch, not the plot. What the fuck is going on?
Hell no.
Because like,
I like that. That was a good joke.
because like,
That's funny.
I wish I would have gotten a little bit more lore.
Yeah.
I wish they would have focused up the plot a little bit more as well. The overall human characters were useless as well as they were in the last movie, but I'm glad that they didn't
humans
utilize
are
them
useless.
as much as they did in the last movie. I'm glad that they utilized them less, but if it had been, 0, it'd have been fire, but whatever.
Yeah.
I do think Ben Schwartz, Idris Elba, the person who voices Tails, they all do a great job. I like Keanu as Shadow. I think the action scenes were really good. I like the lore that we do get about Shadow, though I think I would have liked a little bit more, but I get it, right? Accurate to the games. The overall thing that I think is holding me back from liking this movie a lot more is just the breaking of the immersion, and a lot of that coming from just sort of the jokes and comedic scenes that did not land with me. There were a lot of jokes that I felt like didn't have to be in there, straight up things that just could have been completely cut out for time, or just straight up like, this was not funny. I don't even remember the kids in the movie theater laughing at this shit.
Yeah.
That's just
That's
me
facts.
though. I do think that the third act of the movie is by far the most entertaining as far as stakes, as far as the action, as far as fan service of what you get. The way that the movie ends is very kind of like, okay, typical type shit, right? The post-credit scenes are interesting. It makes me think. It was weird because even though this is my least favorite of the trilogy, the post-credit scenes leave me wondering and actually kind of looking forward to what the fourth movie might bring, or what certain spin-offs might bring, or who knows, right? But I will say that this is a movie that I'm walking out of where I kind of like, I was struggling between two different ratings of so what I want
Yeah,
to
me
give
too.
it. So I'm like, I'm either between giving it this rating or I'm this rating. And they're
Yeah.
kind of a point apart. And for me, it kind of brings down to, okay, well, let me think of the negatives. And to me, the negatives in this movie was the big glaring one is just the unnecessary over amount of comedy when it came to Jim Carrey
Yeah.
playing the two Robotniks. And so the thing that kind of settled the score for me is I liked the characters. I liked the action. I liked Keanu as Shadow. There's a lot of this movie that I like, but my negative being the comedy. Can I look past the comedic jokes and scenes, even the ones that didn't land with me, even the ones I didn't laugh at, even the ones that I found straight up cringe? Can I look past it and look and enjoy this movie?
Yeah.
And I think if there was less, I could. But I think there was just too much, bro. It was just like Love and Thunder, dude. You can't look at me and say I could look past the humor in Love and Thunder because the humor was 24/7, like Mario said. It's beginning to end. And I personally, as much as I hate to say it, I cannot look past the comedy that did not land with me in this movie. That is one negative that's holding me back from liking this movie more. It's the thing that's holding me back from honestly rewatching this movie. I wouldn't rewatch this movie. I'd probably just YouTube all the action scenes that I thought were cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd probably just wait till someone makes a TikTok edit of all of Shadow's badass scenes or whatever the fuck. But I would not see myself rewatching through this movie because I don't know if I could sit through an hour 50 of these fucking jokes that didn't land with me. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to give this a 6.
Damn. A 6? Oh, so you were torn between a 6 or a 7?
A 6 or a 7.
Holy
For me, bro, I think the comedy just was too much. Bro.
Brody
It
said,
was
okay.
too much. And
Yeah.
It's
you know what I
definitely your
mean?
lowest.
So even like, okay, and I mentioned, right, like the human characters, right, like James Marsden and his wife being in this movie was irrelevant, right? I straight up was like, you could get rid of them. Okay, if you got rid of them, like I suggest, would that bump it up to a 7? No. Nah, man. Like the glaring problem for me was just the comedy not landing with me. A lot of it does. There's jokes. A lot of it comes from like Sonic, obviously, right? Ben Schwartz is Sonic. He's really well done. He's a very comedic actor. And guys, Jim Carrey's the GOAT. I recognize that. But what he does in this movie was just too much for me. I could take Jim Carrey Robotnik from the first two movies, I guess. I think Robotnik flossing on screen is the line, apparently. I think that's where I can tolerate it because that didn't bother me when I saw it in the last movie.
Yeah.
But I guess what was in this movie, bro, was too much for me. So I can't look past it, dude. And when I can't, I gotta be true. So for me, I'm giving this a 6.
Okay.
Wow.
I
That is your
know.
lowest rating because you gave the first Sonic a 7, and
Sounds
Sonic
about
2,
right.
and you give Sonic 2 an 8.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I'm gonna have to change that.
Ooh, go ahead, huh?
Sonic 2?
Sonic 2 and Sonic 1.
Yeah, what do you
Yeah.
do?
You know what, bro? I think they're both 7s, actually. Now, retrospectively looking back. Because an 8 is like, it's pretty high considering that I said that I didn't like the human character. And here's the thing. The human element in the last movie was more prominent than they were in this movie. Like James Marsden and his wife in this movie was less prominent than they were in the
Yeah,
last
that's true.
movie. So it wouldn't make sense. So you know what? I'm going to have to change both Sonic 1 and 2 to just 7s. They're good movies. But this one is probably my least favorite in the trilogy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I would have to give this one a 6.
And it's kind of unfortunate, man, because like we're so hyped because like yo, Shadow's in this bitch, and I think I agree with you, Hav, man. It's just the humor. It's just not for us, bro. It's not for us, and I think that's what really shot it in the foot. And like and some of the dialogue, like we mentioned before, it just sounds kind of
generic.
shines generic, mediocre,
Straightforward.
And I believe there's a scene right where where they do like an expedition dump or some shit, like a little mini one, and Gerald Robotnik like replies to it. Like, shut up and don't give me your expeditions or like some bullshit.
Yeah.
So like the movie knows what it's doing.
Yep.
The movie knows what it's doing, and it's doing it. Why? Because they're catering it to more to kids, and like, yo, we have to make sure the kids know exactly what the fuck is happening.
Yep.
You know, and it just sucks because it wasn't like that from the first two movies. Sure, was there some funny moments, goofy moments? Absolutely. Same with Dr. Eggman. Absolutely. But here, it's like, I agree with Hive. It's like a Thor: Love and Thunder situation. Like, what the fuck just happened? And I think that's what's really hindering me to like enjoy it to like what I want to. You know what I mean? But I guess with that being said, actually, I might change my ratings for the other movies as well.
Oh fuck! All right.
Let me think. Is it fuck? What did I give? What did I give the other movies again?
You gave Sonic 1 an 8 and Sonic the
Okay.
Hedgehog 2 a 9.
Oh yeah, I did, huh?
A 9?
Yo, Sonic 2 was fire, bro.
No,
Sonic 2
I
was
liked it
fire.
too. I liked it too, but holy shit.
Okay, but look, you gotta listen. You have to hear me out. You have to hear me out,
Holy shit, a 9, bro?
Hell no.
bro.
That is crazy.
Everything there was accurate as fuck, bro, to the story, bro. And the action sequences was fire as fuck, bro. When we got Supersonic and everything, dude, it was fire.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, everything was fire to the T. As a Sonic fan, bro, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the thing. I think I might have to change it. Because that was our first year recording. I'm going to be real. I think I was too generous. The human element was also an issue for me. And the whole wedding sequence, how long that was. And, dude, I couldn't, man. I couldn't. But I think I was just so off the hype of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have to drop that a point, Mario, for Sonic 2.
An 8.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sonic 1, I'll still give it an 8. I still think it's great. I like it a lot. Sonic 2, even though Sonic 2 I do enjoy a bit more than the first Sonic, it's just the human aspect of what you said, Hav, it got worse. And the whole wedding sequence, it just ruined it for me. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? But everything else was fucking fire.
Yeah.
If the human element and the wedding shit was fixed, then yeah, I think, you know what, that'd be a 9 for me.
Yeah.
Okay, now with this movie, fuck, man. It just sucks, bro, because I agree with what Ramiro said, man. Okay, a 10 out of 10.
As a Sonic
as a
fan.
Sonic fan on the shit that they do, it's fire, bro. Dude, seeing it live action is fucking fire.
Mm-hmm.
But based on the negatives and the critiques that we had, that in past discussion, man, it's just I agree with Hav. It just wasn't hitting for me like that, man. It just was not. I still enjoyed it, but I did not enjoy it as much as the first two movies. So with that, I'm gonna give Sonic 3 a 7.
All right, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I was trying to guess y'all score. I had to change it.
What'd you guess?
What you think I was gonna say?
A 7.
7? Nah, I'll
Yeah.
give. I think the reason why I have more of an edge than Hav is because like I'm more of a fan of
Yeah.
Sonic, and like you know what I mean. And I could
That's probably
make
true.
those
Would
references.
you get a collector's Blu-ray 4K of this?
Nah. A Blu. I mean, what's crazy? I'd probably get a steelbook for the first two movies.
All right, okay.
I'd
bet.
get a steelbook.
But what about this one?
Not sealed, right?
But what this one?
This one,
Are you even buying one?
for this movie? I probably okay. For this movie, probably just like a normal Blu-ray,
Yeah.
right? Because that's like the value, right? That's how I
Yeah.
see it. Okay, cool. It's fire to own Blu-ray. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But like knowing me, I'd probably get a steelbook as well to match the other two movies.
I'm the same way for the Star Wars,
Yeah.
the new trilogy.
Yeah.
I hate it. I like the first one, right? I
Yeah,
hate the
yeah.
last two, but like to complete.
I know what you're talking about. It's just OCD. It don't
it's
bother
like,
me.
I gotta get all.
I gotta
right?
complete I gotta complete it.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the thing. I don't think, like I said, I still think this movie's a good movie. I do think that it could absolutely be better.
Yeah.
And I do think that there was some potential that unfortunately just it didn't utilize certain elements in this movie like I hoped it would.
Yeah.
Right? So I still had a good time. As a Sonic fan, this movie is actually fucking fire. The things that you see, the things that you could pick up on. But like as a movie, yeah, it just there is some flaws, man. And part of that is what we talked about. But the biggest thing is like what Hav said, the whole humor shit. Because you just get out of the immersion. You just get out of the plot. You're like, all right, bro, when is this over? And it just sucks, man, that this movie that they decided to cater more to kids, man. It's just I don't know, but
Yeah.
and I get it, right? Majority of the fan base are kids, you know.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's just it sucks for me, man, because
Mhm.
I thought the first two movies were great, and this one I wish that it was also I could put that in the same level as them, but I just can't, man. I enjoyed the first two more than this one. So yeah, 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 sounds good to me.
All right. I mean, I can't really reiterate what they already said,
Yeah,
right?
I'm curious what you got to say.
I mean, it's very obvious. I said it earlier in the review. I think this probably is my least favorite one out of the three for reasons that they already said. You know, not how Shadow was utilized, which is, I think, was not what was marketed, and what they gave us was just something I just didn't enjoy as much. The humor is just my biggest negative in the entirety of the film. It's just dumb, dude. I mean, honest with you, it's just dumb for a child. There's no other way. There's no other way to explain.
Robotnik.
Yeah, and it has to do with him.
Shit.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying,
that's the
dude.
biggest issue.
And I don't know. I understand it, right? It's for children. And guys, when we say that, we really do mean, like, we really understand it's for kids. But guys, we're grown men. We got to see our true thoughts. It's like there's no other way to say it. Like, we understand it, so we're gonna rate it for how we experienced it. So
Mario, what you mean, girl? Fart jokes are funny.
Yeah, for real though.
Like, what the fuck?
But I don't know. I will say I think I do lean more.
No, fuck that, because Pixar be making good shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, well,
kids movie, family movie. Yep, I know. I remember.
Yeah.
Either way.
No, I would say I would probably lean more towards where Hector is in terms of the voice acting for Shadow. When I do hear him, I do just hear John Wick. I won't be honest with you.
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe cast someone else. Maybe the OG or someone else. I don't know. I just hear John Wick. With Idris Elba, I don't hear Idris Elba. I hear Knuckles. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, I feel like, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, like, I just hear too much John Wick.
No, yeah. I would say Keanu. I think I would say he did good.
He did good, but
I want to say he
what you
did
mean.
Great or like excellent. Whatever. I just say he did good. He did his
like the
role.
other guys. They're like not like.
But the portrayal of Shadow, I really did. Really did like.
Like, I do like Shadow. I do like what was shown in this movie. I just wish we had more of it. I mean, there's nothing else I can really say. I mean,
it's a rating.
I mean, first I should say what I watch is animated. I mean, I want to watch animated. I feel like if this was animated,
Sonic X. That's just fire.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
That's a good show.
Yeah, but I'll probably just give this a 7. I think it's good. My negatives mainly are just the humor, the whole villain, how it is portrayed in this shit, and the human element. I didn't talk about it a lot because Javi really described it really well how I thought about it. They should get rid of it completely, kind of like how they do it in like Godzilla. Where like that's why I always say that, like, just get rid of the human characters, man. Just give me Godzilla and whoever the fuck he's fighting for an hour and a half, and I'll be happy. Trust me.
Yeah.
And this is the same way, because I feel like because it's live action, you kind of do need human characters, because I mean, doing that much CGI in a live action movie, it's a lot of money. It really is. So you kind of do need to just find a better way to utilize it and not make it feel like it's a waste of time. Because a lot of times in this movie, when it came to the cop and his wife. It just felt like, dude, we're just wasting time just so like you don't have to pay for Sonic right now. Like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing here. But no, I think it's a 7 out of 10. I think it's.
So did you feel like when you left out the theater, did you feel satisfied? You're like, you know what?
Disappointed. Because I
give it a 7.
That's what I'm thinking. Because
I think it's good, but I don't think it's okay.
I noticed that there's there's flaws in this movie, right? I noticed that I know that it can absolutely be better, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I was satisfied. Like, I was content. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. Fine. Can it absolutely be better? Yes. But hey.
But that's why him giving it a 7 makes sense. Yeah. So for him to be like 7 is a good movie, and I left disappointed.
That's why I wanted to ask him. You know.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Mario, and that's the score you want to give it, bro. Cool. I'm not saying you should change your score.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I thought you were gonna give it something worse than me.
Like a 5.
No, I don't expecting. I don't think this movie was mediocre.
I'm gonna be real. I was expecting 5 or 6 from him.
Because like I'm lowering probably like 2 points because of the humor. Like, I really did not fuck with the humor. Like, maybe there's like a couple funny
if the
things,
humor wasn't a big issue, so this would be a 9 for you.
No, hell no, not 9.
Well, you just said you took 2 points off.
Yeah, because I also said
it went to 7.
Because the the shadow shit. Also, I didn't like we didn't get more of him and how he was using, how he was marketed as if he was going to be the main thing.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't know the games. Obviously, according to the games, is right, but like how I came into it.
Keep in mind, 7 is a good score, man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think this movie is mediocre. I don't think it's mediocre at all. I'm like, no, it's a solid movie. It's just not aimed for me, clearly. So I have.
But you felt disappointed.
Yeah, because obviously I wanted to leave how I left for Knuckles 2. And I enjoyed Knuckles 2. Okay. Not Knuckles 2. Fucking Sonic 2. Yeah, Sonic 2. I came out and I was like, yo, that's actually a pretty fire movie. Like, I wasn't expecting that.
I will say I was more entertained with this movie than I was the Knuckles show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. This is
absolutely.
This shit clears the Knuckles show.
What do we rate?
Honestly, I
think I gave it a 5.
We gave it a low score.
I think I gave it a 2, bro.
Oh, 2? Yeah. I think so.
I don't remember, actually.
I think you did.
2? I can check. Let me check.
That
seems too low.
No, you gave it a 5.
That's worse than Craven.
No, we all gave it 5s.
No, Knuckles is better than Craven. Like it's
No,
entertaining.
he gave it a 5.
I gave it a 5, right?
Yeah, we all gave it 5.
Oh, we all gave it a 5.
Unless he changed it.
Dude, Mario, no, because we gave Craven a 3, right? Yeah, we both gave Craven a 3.
Yeah, I did give it a 5.
There's no way Knuckles is worse than Craven. Knuckles is at least like somewhat entertaining.
All right, I really got to see that movie then.
Mario, don't.
But you just told me to watch it.
No, you should, but like I'm saying don't because it's
you
bad,
should,
bro.
but you shouldn't. At the
Dude,
same
it's
time.
a bad Mario.
Funny. You should, but you
Mario,
shouldn't.
okay, listen to me.
Yeah.
Morbius's pacing of the movie is better than Craven, dude.
All right, I really got to see it, bro. How bad?
I promise you, bro, you're gonna be bored as fuck. And I know you have a big issue with pacing. I know that's like your like one of your biggest things. We're like, yo, if I don't fuck with the pacing, man, fuck this movie type shit. I know you look at that a lot. The pacing of a movie. This movie, I promise you, bro, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is happening? Like, when are we starting?
Nah.
It's gonna be an hour.
I'll be able to.
It's gonna be an hour 30.
If
When are we starting the movie?
No, wait, what? For
Dude,
real?
it's bad, bro. It's bad.
My god.
Mario, we gave it a 3. It's a bad. 3 means bad. It's just bad.
Oh my
Madam
god.
Web took the cake as the worst. We gave that a 2. I gave it a 3. I changed it to a 2.
Uh-huh.
Madam Web is still worse. But dude, Craven is bad. I honestly, I didn't expect Craven to be worse than Morbius. I'm gonna be real. Or Venom.
Fuck.
I'm not gonna be real. But anyway, Mario. Okay, so you left disappointed. So you're okay, and you're giving it a 7. Okay, I just want to clear things up.
Nah, but that's it.
All right, 7. So
I
you think?
honestly-
So you think it's a good movie?
I think it's a good movie. It's just not
Okay.
aimed towards me, which is
I
why I
gotcha.
left disappointed.
Okay, I know. Okay, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you. I know what you're
Because
saying.
Sonic 2, bro, like that was aimed towards, I would say for families, more or less. But I left like, yo, that was surprisingly good.
And would you give that one again?
I think I also gave that one an 8.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so I lowered it to a 7.
Damn, was I the only one that gave it a 9? I think I was high, bro.
Yeah.
Like I was just high off the ride, bro.
I mean, it was a great
Seeing
film.
everything come
you
to
probably
life,
weren't-
live
you-
action
you
was
probably weren't
bad
expecting it to
fucking
be
ass.
that fire. That's
Yeah, but
probably
like
why.
looking back, keep in mind, dude, that was like, dude, that had to have been like our 3rd review, Hav, ever that we did on the pod or something. It was our early reviews, and so I was never like, I didn't know what to look for in certain things, but I do know that those things that Hav mentioned did bother me, but I didn't let it affect my rating when I should have. If that makes sense.
No, I
You
understand.
know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
like, I was like on some Danny shit, like, yo, I don't give a fuck. That shit was badass. But dude, this is a big issue. I don't care. I
This
saw
shit was
crazy
bad.
shit happen.
Yeah.
That shit lit. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think I'm happy with those ratings. I think the first 2 movies I'll give them 8, and then yeah, I think this movie is 7. Yeah, okay. And you're 7. You gave it a 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually expected he was gonna give something less than mine.
No, I did not
Yeah.
see it. If anything, I probably was debating a 6. I really was, but I'm just like, nah. That's when I was getting into like, no, I think I'm hating too much.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. But anyway, guys, yeah, that is our non-spoiler review for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I mean, keep in mind, 7s, they're still good scores, man. They're still good scores. Even 6 low key, like, cause it's okay. You know, it's okay. It's fine, right? 5, right? I think that's where you got to be worrying. Like, all right,
Yeah.
bro, what the fuck going on? But anyway, we're gonna jump.
Like if you got a
into-
kid,
yeah, oh yeah.
then watch it in theaters. Buy a ticket.
Yeah.
If not, wait till it's streaming.
Oh yeah, is
Yeah.
it worth a movie ticket? I forgot to do that.
If you have a kid,
Uh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I would say it's worth. If you're like a Sonic fan, man, I would say yes, man. Normal price. I would say
Yeah.
it's worth a movie ticket. If
Alright.
you're a Sonic fan.
Yeah.
But if you're not, if you're like Mario, I'm gonna be real. Probably not. You probably won't like this.
Yeah.
I don't know, but okay. With that being said, that is our non-spoiler section. We're gonna jump into the spoiler section to actually go more in depth on the things that we did not like, talk about some certain scenes, and most importantly, have some fun.
Yes,
But with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening. We're gonna jump into the spoiler section in 3, 2, 1. We are now in the spoiler section of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. All right. What do we start? Okay, Mario, you want to start out first?
All right, man. This is the one
Okay,
where
go ahead.
I deadass got reminded about fucking Knuckles the show.
Okay, I'm pretty sure.
Where
it's all
I'm
the
just
same-
like-
the
where I'm
same
just
scene we
like-
all-
Where I'm like, I'm watching fucking Knuckles right now. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
yeah.
And one of the reasons, this was the ultimate. This is a scene where I was like, all right, I already lowered it a point for the comedy. This is what lowered it another point. It was a
Okay.
scene where it was like Egghead and his grandfather. They're sneaking into the gun headquarters, right?
Yep.
They're about to get the card or the second key card they need to activate the weapon that his grandfather made, and they got to go through these lasers.
Yeah.
And as they're going through these lasers, they made these suits where like the lasers don't hurt them, they don't penetrate them. They're like, well, if the lasers don't hurt us, let's just have a fucking dance off. And so then the fucking for like the next like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, I don't know how long, right? It was shit felt like forever.
Oh, it
felt
felt
long.
like that.
It felt like forever.
I promise
It felt
you,
like
it was
forever,
not
right?
3 minutes.
And they're just I forgot what song, but it's some TikTok song. I know for a fact because I've heard it before. It used to be a trend. And they're just dancing along, doing some dancing moves, some silly shit. And I'm just like, what's the point of this? Like, I get it, just aim for children, but I'm just like, dude, like, y'all are cranking
Yeah.
it up. And
That
I
was
was like,
some
and
Knuckles
that,
shit right
and that
there.
was like, dude, I got reminded of Knuckles. I'm like, this is Knuckles right here. Like, this is why I didn't fuck with Knuckles and why I always said like Knuckles was a wasted potential right there. And they clearly just aimed it for fucking kids. And now why I think this movie is aimed for kids, while the other two were like, I think we're family movies, like you said.
Yeah.
And you can still enjoy them. But this one, I'm like, no, this is clear cut. Aimed for kids. Like, if you're a kid, you're gonna love this movie, without a doubt. But with that scene right there, that's what docked at another point for me.
Yeah, I did not like that scene. You said it docked another point. That means if it didn't have all this shit, you would have gave it a 9. And I said that earlier. You said no.
No, I said it probably would have been an 8 because that was 2 points right there. I liked it too because I liked the one for the shadow shit.
Okay, that goes.
And then
8.
no, because I'm thinking from a 10.
Oh.
From 10.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
I'm not
Oh.
thinking no. I'm thinking from 10. I'm like, oh, 10. So I knocked one for
so
the
you
shadow
knocked
shit. That would be a 9.
9. Okay.
And then the
9.
comedy initially, I was like, all right, A. I'm like, all right, this is still a great movie. And then that scene knocked in another.
That was already
one.
2 points. No, you already did 2 points.
No, I knocked it again. 2 points for comedy, 1 for shadow. That's
oh,
3.
So 3. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. My bad, OG.
No, but like, dude, that scene actually annoyed me because
I
I'm just
didn't
like,
like that
dude,
scene.
like I'm getting reminded of Knuckles because like Knuckles I think could have been a genuinely great show. I gave you ideas like, yo, Hector, what if in this show you gained an attachment to Knuckles, but no, it's just fucking Wade and like what the fuck? Oh, we gotta talk about that next year scene.
Oh yeah, the next scene.
Because that scene too. That scene was also dumb as shit.
Yeah.
That scene was dumb as shit. And I'll let you get to that one because that one also was another one where I was like, what the fuck was the point of that? But yeah, either way, but that scene was just them dancing off, they're having a dance off on the way to the fucking card. I was just like, what? Like, this is a waste of time, bro. Like, what is this?
Yeah,
Like,
And
not
the movie
fucking
has
add
a
anything.
lot of scenes like that, and that's why that example you gave are very much the scenes that I just cannot
Stan.
look past.
Yeah.
And this is what's affecting the score for me. Like, I cannot tell you this movie was so good I would rewatch it and sit through that fucking dance scene again. I can't.
No.
And if that's an indication that I will not rewatch the movie because I can't sit through those fucking stupid ass scenes, then I have to adjust my score for the movie accordingly.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I perceived it. That's why I gave it such a slow score. But I mean, that's true. Or even when that one motherfucker was playing hockey with the fucking emerald.
Yeah, that's the scene that I wanted to. That was Wade.
Yeah.
I had a feeling. I forget.
Yeah, that was
who it
Wade.
I don't even remember his name, dude. Surprised you
Yeah,
guys remembered.
Yeah, the main character from
Knuckles.
From Knuckles. This
Not
guy.
Knuckles.
Yeah, because like at this point it was established that we can't use the Chaos Emerald because it's too dangerous. We swore an
Yeah.
oath. Blah blah blah. Knuckles is the only person that knows.
And they hype it up.
Yeah,
they hype it
Knuckles-
like, oh, like it's somewhere like really fucking tough.
Yeah,
bro.
Knuckles know where it is. He's not gonna reveal it. Blah blah blah. Right? It's gotten to the point where at this point, the scene that we get was that Shadow ends up punching the shit out of fucking what's his name? The guy.
The cop.
The
The cop.
cop.
Yeah.
The main Sonic's like best friend, whatever,
Yeah.
and the human guy. And it's presumed like, oh shit, he might be
Might
dead
die,
or whatever.
yeah.
And so this is the scene that we're referring to in the non-spoiler section where I didn't feel shit, or like we didn't
Me
feel
neither.
shit. We're like, oh my god, there's a chance this guy's dead. We see his wife on top of him. We see fucking Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles like, oh my god, what the fuck, right? But I didn't feel shit, right? So this is why I said that the writers probably knew, man. I don't know, because they did this shit to motivate like Sonic. He's like, nah, fuck that. This has to stop. Fucking Shadow, like hell no, right? I need the Chaos Emeralds because he wants to go super so he can fucking fight Shadow. And that's where Knuckles is like, no, man, we agreed. It's fucking sacred, blah, blah, blah. It seemed like they were going to have like a little showdown, but then eventually Knuckles calmed down. He's like, you know what? Nah. We also swore that in times like these, like, I would trust you. And even if it means we got to break an oath or rules or some shit. But I have to warn you, where I placed it and who you have to go against is a true warrior, like tougher than me or whatever, right? The next shot, it's fucking Wade from the Knuckles show. Because remember, he's trying to become a warrior, right? But really, he's just trained for fucking bowling and shit. And Knuckles,
Yeah.
whatever, right?
It's dumb.
He's playing hockey with the fucking Master Emerald. He's playing hockey with the Master Emerald, y'all. What the fuck is happening? And I literally like made a gesture. I'm like, what? I'm like this. What am I watching right now? And what the fuck? He was hyping it up. Like, oh my god, the Master Emerald is sacred. While this motherfucker's playing hockey with it. Sonic pulls up all angry and shit. He's like, hey, I need that. He said, well, I'm sorry, but you can't. And then it's one of those comedic things where like he takes it really fast, and then Wade is like, well, I tried. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, and what bothered me the most as well is clearly Wade has not learned his lesson.
Yep.
Right? Throughout the show, it's him trying to like stand up for himself.
Yep.
And all these and become this warrior, right? To stand up for himself, like his father, all these different things. Here, would have been a cool little nice detail to be like, actually try to stop Sonic. Hey, like, no, bro. Like, you can't let you take it. Rather than it gets taken away fast and like he gives up super easily. Oh, well, I tried. I thought that was also kind of a missed opportunity with Knuckles, but no, they kind of butchered that, and it's like it kind of just shows you that they didn't really give a fuck about Knuckles. I don't know why they did that, bro. I don't know. But yeah, that scene, man, that pair that with the fucking dancing shit with Dr. Eggman, like, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? What are we doing here, man? What are we doing?
There's a bunch of other scenes, bro. Like the scenes where they're both showing like the show off between the Robotniks, and then they fucking have animal hands, animal arms.
Oh
and
yeah, because they're
each
fighting.
other.
They're fighting on that fucking
The spaceship.
on the
spaceship
space.
with the-
Yeah, it's like a space. I forgot what it's called.
I
but
forget what it's called,
their
too.
weapon.
It's
their
supposed to
weapon.
launch like a fucking nuclear death ray, and then it's gonna incinerate Earth.
Yeah, his Egghead's grandfather
Yeah.
made that one.
Yeah,
That's
and
what they're fighting it.
and Dr. Eggman is fighting his grandfather, right? But they're using like their tech to fight like an animal shit. And I thought that was
Weird.
like, what the fuck
Even
are we doing?
the setup to that fight, he made the joke with the nano, like, oh, a nano glove. Who are you? 2011 Green Lantern? Like,
Yeah, like I'm telling you, they should, bro. There's a bunch
I will
of
say,
meta jokes.
I
in
will
here.
say that I did laugh.
Well, yeah, because we know what it. What
I was like,
referring
okay,
to.
like
Yeah.
if the jokes were a little
But-
more clever like that, I guess I
You
would have
fucking
been.
heard the shit where it's W Grandpa, W this.
I did
Yeah.
not actually hear that.
Yeah,
I think
he
I
would
was
say
zoned out.
W to this.
No shot.
Mr. Robotnik
I'm
has said,
surprised you didn't hear. He said
yes, dude, you didn't hear that
Nah,
part?
bro.
Mr.
Or-
Robotnik has entered the chat.
Or when he was
Did you hear that?
firing-
No.
No way, you did not hear that, Hector.
I'm gonna be real. I probably was not locked in for this.
bro, there was one.
I'm telling you,
when
I lost interest in some scenes. Man.
Listen, I'm
Like I would focus when I would
one.
see fucking Shadow. I would focus when I would see Sonic. That's
Yeah.
all I cared about.
There was one scene where I
Bro,
think
yes.
Yo, Jav, did you pick this one up? He was. I think he was firing his like aide, whatever the fuck that dude's name is, right?
Oh, I know
And
what you-
as he's firing him, he's like, "Yeah, you're gone. Unsubscribe. Block.
Oh, yeah.
Report that." I was like, "Oh my."
Yeah, I know
fucking
that.
God.
Yeah, I heard
Okay.
that part. Also, that guy, Dr. Eggman's fucking like assistants. That
Yeah.
guy, I feel like his acting was just not there. I thought his acting was mediocre. Like, yo,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
to be
Okay.
fair.
And we get like glimpses of him, like, kind of holding some type of resentment towards Dr. Robotnik, like throughout the movie. So you're thinking, okay,
And there's the end.
this guy's gonna maybe
Yeah.
play in a bigger role. But no, it's just at the end of the movie, it's completely normal. He like Dr. Robotnik kills himself and like he's out here like apologizing and shit. And he's like, oh, okay, bad, I accept you. So like, what was the point of adding those small little glimpses of that character? I don't know. I was like, all right, cool. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, back to the fight scene with the animal shit. I thought that was kind of like, what the fuck are we doing? I just wanted it to end.
Yeah.
And then it would cut to the badass fight scene with fucking Sonic and Shadow where they're both super and they're actually fighting each other. I'm like, all right, bet, I want to see this. Then it cuts back to them. And it's like, I don't want to see this, bro. And then when Robotnik is like hanging off the ledge and like I think Tails ends up saving him. But then he pokes his grandfather in the ass. He pokes his ass with like something.
With the
Sonic's
quill,
hair.
the quill.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pokes him with a quill, and then he pokes him with a quill, and Gerald gets launched, and he's like screaming, and
He makes a fart sound.
he makes a fart sound, and he goes up in the air screaming, and he enters this the nuclear radius
chaos.
that Shadow created,
Yeah.
and it just disintegrates like if he was nothing. Like,
Instantly.
I'm gonna be real. I thought that was funny, but not because like I thought it was stupid. Like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
This is like some cat in a hat level activity.
Yep.
Like, or
Yes,
some shit.
Exactly, bro.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? And that's it. That's how Gerald Robotnik. That's how he. That's it, buddy. You know.
That's
And
how he
I
keeps
just
it curved.
also don't like how they. Like I said this in the non-spoiler section, how they used Dr. Eggman's like loneliness and like not being accepted and shit to fuel like his motivations were like, oh my god, or in order to be him to be influenced, like, oh my god, look, it's my grandfather. This is the only person that I know that's blood, so of course I'm gonna be influenced. Rather in the game, he's influenced by like him obviously want to be doing evil shit and realizing his grandfather is his research is like phenomenal. He's like, yo, I want to be just like that. I want to fulfill my grandfather's duties. You know what I mean? Shit like that. I don't know. I kind of didn't like that dynamic. Like, oh, like no one likes you. Like you're lonely and shit. Like you're only influenced because I'm your blood. Like that's it. You know. And I guess the other scene too, I thought was kind of like funny, but it's my point of them just adding meta laughs for the adults, where like they do the mirror shit. It's almost like where they look at the camera. It's almost like we're the same person playing two different characters. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They did like a little Deadpool situation there, and I'm telling you, that is obviously for the adults and like so many other types of jokes that they made to try to keep us as adults entertained just as much as the kids. But unfortunately, some of them just didn't work for me. And I don't know. I don't know, man. There's just... I feel like I would have liked this movie a lot, man, if it weren't for the humor that they high in like crazy.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
You know,
That's
is there okay, let me think. Is there another scene... was there another scene, Mario, that you could think of that you did not like, that you hated?
No, I'm trying to think right now.
What about you, have?
That I hated?
Or you didn't like? Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
That I didn't like? I mean, I don't know, man. We listed a bunch, and I mean, they
Yeah.
all had to do with Robotnik.
Because I think everything else was solid. Like even like Sonic's like quips, I
when
liked.
when the human characters were involved, the cop, right,
yeah,
and the
okay, I can
wife.
see that. Yeah.
Like when the dude pulled out the puppet and he was making the weird note, like the puppet shit. That
Yeah.
wasn't. I was like, okay, whatever.
Oh, I thought
when they disguised themselves as like the husband and the sister,
Yeah.
like from the
Oh, and that
from the
whole
last
sister
movie.
scene. It's like,
And like they're
Yeah.
trying to like be a Karen to the dude in the front desk.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, why are we here? This is what I mean when I'm like, it felt like the filmmakers didn't know what to do with the characters, but the actors were contractually obligated to be here, so they had to like find a way to fit them into the plot, and so they had them do this bullshit, and it's just like, you're not invested. I just don't care. And my thing is like, okay, if Tails is being the hacker person, right? Then why doesn't he sneak into the server room and put in the USB? He could have had him do it instead of these people. Like he could have just snuck in.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, because we had to give the human character something to do.
yeah.
You know, these actors signed on for a 3-movie deal, bro. We have to use them no matter what.
Yep.
And it's like, I guess that would be another scene I didn't fuck with. That kind of further solidified that we didn't need the human characters, that they could just scrap them all together, but it makes no difference. The one scene that I remember Hector dying was when the dude on the motorcycle uses the ramp to leave.
Dude, unless maybe I misinterpreted that, but I could have sworn that's what happened.
So like when they're like in like Tokyo and they go to that one restaurant where like
The Chow Garden.
that one.
The Chow Garden.
I know what you're talking about.
I wonder if that actually happened. Like, what the fuck?
Oh,
Because Hector's laughing because the scene is like when when Robotnik's
Yeah.
robots come in, they start trashing the place, right?
Yeah.
And the whole place turns into a fiery destruction.
Uh-huh.
Then the dude pulls up with the motorcycle and he like deactivates the machines or whatever, right? So if you remember, Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails meet up with the general.
Yeah, I know.
And so
Konichi.
I know.
Bro,
Like, that's funny because it's stupid. Like, what am I watching right now?
Yeah.
What are you, like, come on, Sonic. Fuck.
I forgot about that one.
Konichi. What?
so stupid. No, but that's not what I was gonna say.
No, that was what I was gonna say.
I forgot.
The next thing was actually...
The next, no, I was gonna say that the general dude, right? He's like, get down, right?
Yeah.
And this piece of debris falls on him like a table, right? Like a
Yeah.
tabletop, like
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And the tabletop falls on him, and it's like it's like slanted.
I remember this.
So when the dude in the motorcycle pulls up, right, and Sonic is like, "Yo, who are you?" He doesn't say anything, and he just uses the table that's on top of the general as a ramp to leave outside.
And then Sonic takes a table off of him. He's like, "You okay?"
It's
the general, bro. His face just sells it for me. I don't know if y'all
And
look at
then he
his
starts
face.
laughing.
Yeah.
It's like, Hector, what, bro? He's
You
like,
didn't catch
bro.
that. You didn't catch
It's like,
that.
bro, the dude, that thing that was on top of the general, this motherfucker drove his motorcycle up it. He used it as a ramp. I was like, oh shit, you're right. What the fuck? This is the most bitch ass move, bro.
I remember that, bro. I forgot about
That was actually funny, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That was actually funny. I was dying.
It's funny because you
I
can
was
tell it's
dying.
staged,
Oh
like him
my
taking the
God.
shit off. You can tell it's like clearly staged. Because he just goes, "Oh, Sonic, oh, here you
yeah.
are." But I'm like, "What the fuck, bro? You just got ran over. What's
but
wrong with you?"
To be clear, Mario, that's what happened.
Yeah, no,
right?
it's what happened. That's why I started laughing.
Because, dude, I'm like, wait a second. Because at one point, like, there's another shot when they take off the table, and he looks further away from the window, and I'm like, what the fuck? But I could have sworn that's what happened. But anyway, point is, man, that shit was funny as fuck. Just imagine.
Imagine this debris on you. And then this
Oh,
whole
you-
last
You
motorcycle.
just feel more weight on you. You just feel more weight.
And then the next scene, you're just able to have a full conversation.
Yo, are you General? Are you okay? He's like, what
Like,
was
yes,
that? Like,
Sonic, take this card. You need to take it with you. Like, bro, you just got ran over.
dude, that's like some scary movie shit.
Yeah, it is.
That's something you see in like scary movie, like a parody movie.
That's
Oh my
bad.
god, that's
no,
true.
that's too funny, man. Oh my fucking god, man.
That's funny.
Oh fuck. Oh my god, dude.
I was actually dying, bro.
That was actually like if we had
I
more
forgot
scenes
about
like
that.
that, like actual like intended humor, bro. Clever shows like that. I think I would have liked the movie more.
Get back to the Konichi. What?
Oh yeah. Konnichiwa.
I genuinely forgot about that, bro. I genuinely forgot about that.
That's
Oh,
fucking
shit.
Sonic, bro. Konnichiwa, bitch. No, bro. Just like it was so badass. Like the scene, we're like, oh shit, who is he?
Yeah.
He goes on top of the ramp, right,
Yeah.
and like goes out the window. What the fuck, General? And he lifts up lifts up the whatever the fuck.
Acts like that just didn't just happen.
Yeah, yeah. He's like Sonic. Sonic, the fuck was it?
The ex-conscious and shit.
You know what would be funny if like the table like you know like what if he was just slanted, right? The table wasn't even there. It was just his body, bro. No, that's a parody movie. Yo,
Yeah.
I mean, he has streak marks. Like, he has a motorcycle streak marks on his body. And shit. Like, what the fuck was that? Oh my fucking
Dude, if it happened like that,
no,
like it with tire marks on his, I think I would have lost it in the movie theater, bro. And we're sitting around like kids with their parents and shit. Nah, dude, I would have actually lost my shit laughing.
no, but you
bro.
know what, dude? Now that you mention it, you said this earlier, and it's very true. Like, I didn't hear any kids laughing.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
facts. No, I remember
And none
that.
of these jokes. I feel like you only hear us laugh.
I was standing next to
But
two
it-
kids, bro. They weren't laughing at all. They were genuinely quiet.
Yeah. Javi was next to some kids too.
No, they did not laugh.
Damn. That's yeah. I guess we chuckled or laughed, but that's because for like different reasons.
Yeah.
You know.
Or maybe do you think the kids are too young to understand some of the
It could be
references?
that.
Like when it was like, oh, 2011 Green Lantern.
No, they're not
The
gonna.
kids are not
understand.
gonna
Oh
know
no,
that.
definitely
Yeah.
not. Definitely.
But like
no,
a
I'm
lot
telling you,
of
that's
the-
why those are for the adults. Like,
Right.
those are for the adults. The comedy for them, I guess, is the whole Dr. Eggman dancing and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's their comedy.
or that kind of bullshit.
Or like the fart shit, where like he hits it with the quill in his butt and he farts.
and then he just
He
launches
farts
like
into
a
the air.
cartoon
Yeah, he lodges in the air
fucking
cartoon.
into the chaos energy.
Yeah,
Oh my fucking
that's funny,
god, bro.
That's fucking
But-
funny.
Okay, but the scenes that I did like, obviously, were when both Sonic and Shadow were super,
Yeah,
and they were fighting each other.
Oh, and I asked him
That
this
shit
in
was
the
cool
movie
as fuck.
theater. I asked him this, but I want to put it on tape. I asked him if Shadow wielding the Master Emerald and becoming like white like that and shit, if that was accurate to the lore.
Yeah, he does become super. But what's different, and I don't know if they changed it in recent. Dude, there's so many Sonic games now. I don't know if they changed. Yeah, you could look it up. But when Shadow did turn super, like he'd also be yellow. In the movie, they made him like white. I don't know if
do
you
you like
noticed
that change?
Well, because if you think about it, it's a contrast to black.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, I definitely get it. I mean, maybe they changed it, but I could have sworn like in earlier media from Shadow, like he was just like Sonic. He was just
Yeah.
gold and just with the red with the red highlights.
streak. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
with the red highlights.
I was
and
gonna say
shit.
'cause I liked it. I think he looked cool.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't yellow or whatever, I still thought it was cool. I thought the fight scenes were pretty cool with them. Like some Superman shit, like fucking Sonic punched his ass to the fucking moon. That shit was badass. Their little fight, their fights, them fighting Robotnik's fucking robots.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking cool. I wish they lasted longer though. I wish the fight scene between Sonic and Shadow lasted a bit longer. But overall, I thought it was fucking fire, amazing. That's why I gave this a 7 because, like, despite these other flaws that the movie could absolutely be better, there are some great qualities here that I, as a Sonic fan, really did enjoy seeing. You know, also I do like the interaction that Sonic and Shadow had on the moon.
Yeah, same.
Remember that?
I like that interaction too.
That interaction with them is really cool. About Sonic kind of realizing, hey, this is not who I am.
That's
And
like
Shadow
that was probably
do
like
it.
the first time I felt something between like the emotional weight.
Yeah, I know what
right?
you mean.
It was that scene.
I enjoyed that a lot, especially them watching the sunrise and shit. Like, I did enjoy that, and it sucks because that's what I want, man. Like, we need some scenes like that that's more serious and doesn't get disrupted by like the humor, you know. But how did you find it? Okay, well, let me see. He is white, huh? When is this? This looks like a newer model though.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that? Look, older model. See, he's yellow.
Yeah.
You see that? I'm not stupid. Because I could have sworn, I'm
Hold
like,
on,
dang,
scroll
really?
up, and then that's what I pulled up.
Yeah, and like so now I guess they changed him, which I guess it makes sense. And low key, is it kind of cool? I mean, sure, you know, why not? It's cool. Even though here though, you could tell it's like a hint of like yellow versus in the movie. I think he was just white. Either way, I think it's still cool because you're right, how it is a contrast. But look, like the original, like he's yellow. See that, which is the red shit. Either way, I was expecting him to go super in this movie because come on, man, that shit fire.
I also thought it was cool. I don't know if you mentioned this.
What?
Sorry, I was trying to look up the picture, like an accurate one. I don't know if you mentioned, but I also liked that Sonic was in his super form fighting Shadow in the beginning, and Shadow was low-key holding up his own in his base form.
Oh, absolutely.
I was like, that's fire. That's some Broly shit.
No, absolutely. And like here's another detail. Like I'm telling you, there's a lot of details that I've noticed. Another detail is remember when Shadow was like, bet, like I'm gonna push the station or whatever the fuck it was away. So before he did that, I don't know if you noticed, but he took off his rings.
Yeah.
So what those rings are, right, on his ankles and his wrists, that suppresses his power.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but I had a feeling that's what it was when I saw him take them off.
Oh yeah, that's what it does. So like when he
Gotcha.
takes them off, he's like at his ultimate life form, fullest potential shit. That's why him alone was able to push that shit. And I couldn't help to think, was like, really, my guy, you couldn't do that while you were with Sonic, like holding that beam, like. Hey, maybe he couldn't because he couldn't because if he let go, you know. Okay, never mind. I take that back. It makes sense because he had both of his hands up, and I feel like if he let go to take them off, it would have fucked him.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was a cool little detail, and they don't explain it. It's just a quick shot of of Shadow just taking him off, and that's what I really like about this movie, man. I don't know what to maybe I'm biased or something. I don't know, but that's why I stuck with the 7. But
I don't know. My other questions are related to the end credit scene. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it.
yeah,
Because
let's talk about
I
this.
want to
Let's
know
talk about
like
this.
what you. Okay, well, I don't want to talk about it because I don't know the name of this character.
Okay.
My question is, what story are they gonna tell?
Whoa, shit.
Well, first of all, Hob, I don't know.
a
What
good
do you
question.
two?
Give me a second.
You guys want to talk about it? Like the end credits in itself, like what is it?
Well, the end of the movie ends with Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. I have to think about it because I for some reason my muscle memory wants to say Shadow, but it's not Shadow. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails are on a race, which is how the movie starts, right, with a race. Then it kind of cuts to like credits, and then the mid credit scene it shows Sonic winning the race, but he kind of overdid it.
Goes all the way to
he-
New York.
He ends up all the way to New York, and if you know. These movies, like their hometown or whatever it's called, like Green Valley or whatever the fuck it's called, it's in California.
Oh,
he
shit.
ran across the country.
God.
Then he gets there and he is ambushed by an army of, to all the fans out there, Metal Sonics.
Okay, I
so
didn't know this.
Metal Sonic, I have to look it up, is a creation from Dr. Eggman. It's actually one of his creations, right, Hector? Metal Sonic.
Yes.
Is a creation of Dr. Eggman. Yes. So what's interesting is that they all show up obviously to ambush Sonic, which I was
Yeah.
confused because I'm like, but Eggman's dead, right? And that's when I kind of went on Wikipedia and I started doing research, and apparently it's from the future.
Oh,
Metal Sonics are from the future, right?
Oh.
Which is interesting, right? So
Yeah.
on top of that, also when they all try to ambush Sonic, you see this hammer come out of nowhere from off frame, right? And like it comes in and smashes all the machines up, and then the person whose hooded figure wields the hammer back, and when she pulls the hood back, it is revealed to be Amy.
Amy. Okay, that's her
Amy,
name.
a character from the comics, from the lore, who is known to be a Sonic ally, like Knuckles and Tails.
Yeah.
But also, there's a running gag, like in the games, in the TV shows, that Amy has a crush on Sonic.
Yeah.
She's this girl that like desires him, and he's just kind of like, whatever, this bitch, right? Whatever the fuck.
But what's interesting is that Dr. Eggman created. Okay, so Dr. Eggman kidnaps Amy, right? And he created Metal Sonic in order to prevent Sonic to save her.
Yeah.
But here we're like, she's perfectly okay, and she's out here fighting clones
Of Metal.
Sonic. So
Yeah.
it's like interesting. I wonder what they're gonna do. But I thought Amy looked cool too. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Amy looked cool.
We should add that in this scene she didn't say anything, so we're
No.
assuming they haven't found a voice actor for her yet.
Yeah, she didn't say anything.
Yeah.
but she did look cool with the hammer
Yeah.
and shit. But do you okay? Do
Low-key,
you think
bro.
they're gonna do the running gag?
or like he
Amy is
or
like
he-
infatuated with.
probably, bro.
You think so?
I think so if they want to be true to like the lore and they want to give the fans what they want to see, like the fan service. Maybe they're not gonna overdo it because in the games, bro, and like the TV show, like they overdo it. Like
All right.
this chick does not stop. Maybe they won't overdo it like they do in the lore.
So they
Maybe they'll
never
hint
like
at it.
get together or anything like that.
That's a
I
good
don't think
question.
so.
I don't think so.
Man, I think my hot take would be is that they get together. That'll be the difference. Like she will still be. They'll both be interested in each other.
Oh, okay. I see
Maybe.
what you're saying.
I could see that. I could see that.
That's it. If not, they're gonna keep it like that.
Yeah.
I will say when Hector told me like, oh, I heard this movie has a post-credit scene. My guess is Silver.
Silver.
And when I was like, who's that? And when you explained it to me, I think I was kind of more excited to see that. I was like, oh shit, that would be cool.
Yeah.
The only reason I got excited, bro, was because I was thinking of like, I'm not okay. If there was a post-credit scene last movie, it's gonna be one for this movie.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know who the fuck Silver is, and my knowledge of like who the fuck is in this lore, the character wise, I'm like, okay, so majority of them I don't really know. The only one I know is this pink one. I'm gonna say that pink one's next.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I actually guessed right.
You really don't know Amy, girl? Dang.
I didn't know her, bro. I honestly I only know is Sonic.
That ass.
Yeah, Sonic, bro.
You never got into Sonic, bro? Not even like the shows, bro? Not even the games?
I played the games on my Game Boy.
Not
but
even
that
the
was it.
comic books? Like,
No, I didn't know Sonic had comic. I thought it was
Yeah.
just games and TV shows.
no, they have comics too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But no, I managed to get this one right. But I have no idea who Silver is. Maybe that's gonna be in the next movie.
I wonder how long they're gonna keep doing this. I thought the trilogy was. I thought it was
I
just
thought
a
this was
trilogy.
the end.
Well,
Yeah.
clearly not.
I thought it
or
was,
maybe
bro.
they just reboot it and be like, yeah, we're just gonna be calling it Sonic something. We're getting rid of the numbers.
I think they're gonna farm the fuck out of this
They probably
franchise,
are.
man. Just because the
Yeah.
first two movie did really well. Now this one is also doing really well. They're probably gonna do another.
If they're
they're gonna
smart-
do a spin-off show called Amy. And
No,
it's like
that was
it's,
no, they can't. That'd be dumb.
Amy.
That'd be dumb actually, because like, why not? You got to introduce her in the movie. If anything, they'll do it with Shadow.
I was just about to say that.
They'll do one
I
with
was just
Shadow
about to
because that's
say-
that's the other end credit scene. Is that at the end
Shadow's-
at the end of the movie, we're led to believe that Shadow's no longer alive.
Uh-huh.
So at this second, the post credit scene is we see that Shadow is obviously not dead. So that could maybe be the
That's
spin-off
what
show.
I was thinking that too. And there's a lot of articles.
and
right
then it'll
now.
be a road trip between Shadow and Wade.
dumb man.
Another Wade part two.
I crash out. I crash out.
That'd be funny.
What do you
as
mean?
fuck.
What do you mean the ultimate life form has to bowl? Well, too bad. You're gonna bowl. Bad. Nah,
I don't
That's
know, man.
funny.
hope not. Hopefully not. But hopefully it's good, man. If they do a Shadow TV series,
It would be. It should,
hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like what the fuck.
But what's it called? What do you have any idea of any sort as to what kind of story they would tell now that Amy's introduced?
And the
Because
Shadows
you said
alive.
it yourself in the games, Eggman kidnaps her
Yes.
and sends Metal Sonic to prevent real Sonic, from saving her. But now that
Yes.
Eggman is supposedly dead,
Yep.
there's multiple
Metal
Metal
Sonics.
Sonics. Who created him? Who knows? Because both Robotniks are dead,
Yeah.
and Amy is very much not kidnapped. Do you know where maybe they might go in this direction, or do you think
I have
it's
no.
like,
The only thing I could think of is Metal Sonic. They came from the future. It could be maybe another long lost relative of Dr. Robotnik. I don't know. Maybe Dr. Robotnik actually survived somehow, and like with that galaxy, whatever. Maybe that created like a different timeline. He got sent to a different world or some shit. I don't know, bro. But
so do you think when that spaceship blew up,
do you think
that residue? You think that's a whole nother galaxy, like a whole nother?
it looks like it? It looks like
It very well, like it looked like it. But do you think that actually might be inhabitable, and you think like Robotnik might be in there?
I don't know, because if it's from the future, he probably got like he broke through fabric and time or some bullshit, and he got sucked into a different world or some shit, and like wanted to seek revenge or so. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't know where they can go with this. It's definitely tough. My only guess is the whole future thing. Like Metal Sonic came from the future. Maybe Amy's out here trying to like explain and help, and maybe Silver can get introduced or some shit. But I don't know exactly where it's gonna go play out, because we assume that Dr. Eggman is dead, and then Shadow's alive as well. So, and you already know, bro, if it's a fourth movie, they gotta up the stakes, bro.
Yeah.
They gotta up the stakes. Okay, so here the Earth was in danger. Now here's what.
I don't know.
The galaxy's in danger. I don't fucking know. They gotta up the stakes somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it says right here. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but it is confirmed that obviously we're getting a fourth Sonic movie.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
did
saw
see
that.
And it's officially in the works, and it has a release date for spring of 2027.
Damn,
Wow, 2 years from now?
makes sense. The last movie was 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bro.
Pretty quick.
So 2027 spring is when they're aiming to release Sonic 4. The continuing chapter with
They
Amy
really
now
are
in the
gonna milk
mix,
it, man.
and now Metal Sonic.
Wow.
But for sure, I feel like they're gonna do a show in between.
Yeah, probably another
It's
show.
too
They
long
gotta
of
do-
a gap. It's too long of a gap for them not to do something in the middle. And I think it's gonna have to be
Shadow.
a Shadow one related, because
That
that
would be
was the
cool.
new one that got introduced. You know what I mean? My only thing is, I have PTSD with Knuckles. So like, what kind of story are they gonna tell with Shadow, and is it gonna be as fucking lame as it was? Because I'm pretty sure, dude, of all the TV shows of 2024, Knuckles is my like least favorite show. That's probably like last place. It's probably the worst show I've seen this year so far.
I gotta look back.
I gotta look back, too.
But yeah, I can see that, man. Hopefully they don't do that. But is that everything? Pretty
Yeah.
much.
I think we talked about everything.
Yeah,
pretty
man.
much covered everything. Okay. I mean, thank you guys so much for listening. Let us know what you guys think of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 down in the comments. But yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.
Peace.
See ya.